It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
What's going on, man? Welcome in on a Friday. Having a great time right now. It's my guy Anson Wells. Anson, how you feeling? How you feeling? Shout out to the twisty dude you got going on. Explain the hairdo that you got over here, Lady James, sir.
I actually saw Cooper Kupp, and he had the double braids on top. Mm-hmm. Now, I have all my hair, thank goodness, but my hair is very, very fine. So this whole grow-out process has been brutal. But, yeah, I got the Viking top braid, which I'm sure
I didn't even notice that.
is going to absolutely own me for a day.
I was going to say you got that Ragnar Lothbrok look. You know what I'm saying? If you're familiar with the Viking series, shout out to Ragnar Lothbrok. Too bad he had to die, but his legacy
was a real man.
100%.
He lived.
Ragnar Lothbrok.
That show is so good up until he dies.
Yeah, like
spoiler alert.
The demise of him, and kind of like the end was good too, how he builds the relationship with Ivar the Boneless, if you would. And speaking of Ivar the Boneless, what's going on there? Tom Mazaway sporting the dope Motor City Tiger jersey.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, my guy?
It's Friday. We made it to the end of the week.
Yes,
and
sir.
it's Memorial Day weekend.
Yes,
and we,
sir.
of course, we love the time away, but we have to remember the guys and ladies, the men and women that gave up their lives
Amen.
for us. So thank you for everyone, because if I was born just a few years earlier and I was able to go into the draft, that would not have been good for the United States. I can promise you that. I would have been a terrible soldier. But in my heart, I would have been a good soldier. Man, I take my hat off to those people that do what they do and did what they did for us.
100%. I think we get so caught up in the holiday match. You're right. And I'm glad you pointed out. We get so caught up in the holiday in terms of barbecue, which I mentioned a lot yesterday, and seeing family and hanging out and not having to go to work on Monday. It is about the men and women that laid down their life for us, man. That's one thing that you can always respect about men and women of service is, regardless of what the reason was, they chose to go there, they chose to fight for us, and they chose to defend this country. So we want to give them honor and love always. With that, I say hello to my man Ricky Burns in the building in the audio booth.
How y'all doing? Yeah, I want to shout out RIP to my father-in-law. He was a veteran, served 2 terms in Vietnam.
God bless him.
Yeah, right.
God bless, man.
He got drafted the first time and then volunteered the second time and stuff like that. Just, man, it puts life in perspective that we are so blessed that we never had to do something like that. But we reap the benefits, man. So
we certainly do.
Salute to him and all the other veterans out there.
Pete, want to welcome you into the show as well, man. Pete's done a hell of a job and always does. My right hand. Anybody that you want to shout out, man? Any family member, friend that you want to shout out in service?
Yeah,
Go ahead,
you
talk
guys
about it,
want to hear about Uncle Bill Spivak? Uncle Bill Spivak was a PT boat captain with the U.S. Coast Guard. Now, you're probably thinking U.S. Coast Guard in World War II. Well, they were actually responsible for dropping off the soldiers and bringing out the soldiers during D-Day. Uncle Bill Spivak's PT boat took a German 88, which unfortunately killed most of his crew, and he fortunately survived, but Uncle Bill was at D-Day and doing his part for our country.
Wow.
So there we appreciate
That's
you, man. Shout out to my mom's grandfather. I guess my mom's grandfather, which would make it my great-grandfather, somewhere along those lines. He also served in the military. My father's brother, shout out to Uncle Ronnie, who rests in peace and is no longer with us, but we miss his spirit. Uncle Ronnie served as well. Shout out to my cousin Ethan. Ethan has served as well. Those individuals did lose their lives. So
My grandpa Berniak actually.
hold on, say that name again.
Berniak.
Berniak?
Yep,
Sweet.
Berniak. He was on aircraft carriers, waving into jets. Which I was told a very, very dangerous job.
If you guys went into the military and you had your choice of which branch to go, Bray, I go to you first, where would you have gone?
Marine Corps.
You would have been a Marine. You would have been a hell of a Marine.
I've been a Marine. And I'm glad you said that. Like, I used to think when I was younger, you know how it is. Like, utmost respect for those men and women. We had so many countless come speak to us. When I was in college, Lloyd would bring them in to speak to us and be like, look, you think what you're doing in Ann Arbor in terms of training camp is hard. Once again, you go to the NFL, they bring men and women in and talk about the service that they provide and the work and what they do. I always say I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have been a good one. I lied. Have a huge heart, and I love to protect, and you know I'm competitive. So I think the Marines would have been the one for me.
How about you, Anson?
Marine Corps.
That's a good one.
I would have gone to be a SEAL. I was very good in water, endurance stuff. Used to be
You got
a
a sleek
distance
look
runner.
about you right now. Like
Yeah,
a seal.
pain is not a big deal for me, and I like the competitive
Pain
side.
don't hurt, as
Pain don't hurt.
our main man in Roadhouse did. Roadhouse said, pain don't
Dalton.
hurt.
Roadhouse.
Was that Sam
Dalton.
Elliott?
No,
Dalton.
that was Dalton, baby.
Oh, it was Dalton.
That
Okay.
was
Shout out
Dalton.
Patrick Swayze, rest
Yep.
in peace.
Pain don't
Nobody
hurt.
puts baby in the corner.
Boy, do I love that guy.
He was a football star, messed his knee up.
He was amazing, man.
Football star in Texas, messed his
I
knee
didn't
up.
know that.
Two of my all-time favorite movies.
Like
he was
all
in.
like he was
Three
like,
of them.
It's like all-American quarterback. Messed
cool.
his knee up, went into acting and dancing route. Like
Throwing the ball to All-State wide receiver Matthew McConaughey.
he's a little older than Matthew, but they look alike.
Ricky, how about you? Where would you have gone in the military?
Actually, I actually tried to join the Army coming out of high school, but because of I had asthma and stuff, but I didn't think that was real until I got denied. But I was going to Army, man. I was always getting into stuff, and I was good with hand-to-hand combat. Wouldn't brag about it, but you
Look at
know,
you.
I won my fair share of fights, so I always thought I'd be good in the Army.
Lucky
a good
Pierre,
one.
how about you?
Tell you what, I would join the Air Force, but I would not. But
knew
I
you
would.
were gonna say Air Force.
Well,
I knew it.
because I had
He
a,
likes
I have
to
a
jump
friend.
out of planes,
I have
this
a
guy.
friend, a now retired lieutenant colonel who was in the Air Force, but he was in the ground units, the parachute units. So he wasn't flying planes. He was actually what these guys did. He was recon. So he was first in. So wherever he landed, he was surrounded, and he took fire quite often. He was injured twice, or he was wounded twice. But yeah, I'd like to be in the Air Force with him.
That's
I would've
super
wanted
cool,
to.
man. Speaking of Air Force and helicarriers, the whole night, I saw that. I did go see Mission Impossible, the last one,
was it?
the final reckoning. This is what I'll say about it. I'm not the type to give you all the information and get spoiler alerts. The movie is too long. Like it's 2 hours and 49 minutes long. It is a long.
You gotta watch that at
movie.
home.
249. Now, with that being said, they wrap up the chapter. They show you some things you've never seen. So I guess in that regard, it is worth it. But you could tell that Tom Cruise knew that this is the last time he is playing the infamous character known as Ethan Hunt. He tried to get all the running and all the stunts in. So I mean, it's good, Tom, but it's a long day.
Yeah.
It's a long day. 8 o'clock show. I was like, oh yeah, is he still running? I woke up, he still was running. So let's start off with some fun. And then we can get into the Tigers who, they lost one yesterday. But it's neither here nor there. We'll get into that. 2 truths and a lie. Memorial weekend, we're having some fun. The sun is trying to come out for us. 2 truths and a lie. You tell 2 truths, you tell a lie, and it is up to us to decide where the lie is. And we'll just see, go around, see who can get it right. Anson, I saw you write something down when I said it.
Because I've been still thinking about it since you told me. I'm not even sure which road to go down. I was circling my all-time Lions lineup when you told me that.
Maz, would you like to start? Or
I got to give you personal.
Yeah, it's 2 truths and a lie from you, and it is up to us to try to figure out what's the lie.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, there we go.
All right.
Let's have some fun.
I am related to the famous actor Omar Sharif.
Okay.
And he's back in the '60s and all. He was a Arabic actor, and he was starred with Barbara Streisand in a few movies as well.
Okay.
So I'm
So
related to him.
We got Omar Sharif from the 60s.
Omar Sharif, yes. I'm also related to another actor, Danny Thomas. If everyone remembers Danny Thomas, the great comedian and actor, again in the 50s and the 60s. Arabic guy, and I was related to him.
All right.
I am related to him. And the other one is my dad hit the lottery when he was young. And he was a Hostess cake guy, Hostess cake salesman, but he hit the lottery and was able to retire a little bit earlier. And thank God my mom and dad are still with us and living a happy life in New Jersey.
All right, so I'm gonna go back real quick. We got Uncle Amiri, was in movies in the 60s.
Omar Sharif.
Omar Sharif. I
Omar
wrote it
Sharif,
right.
Dr.
Then we have
Zhivago.
Danny Thomas, who was comedian in movies in the 50s. Or Pops hit the lotto back in the day, and he shut it down. Anson, I come to you. What is the lie? Just
No lotto.
okay, lotto.
I agree. That's all I'm gonna guess. The lotto. I don't believe it.
You know, man.
He
So
knows.
you're almost exempt.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Twinkie the kid ain't playing the lotto, Tom.
I reached down deep and I came up with nothing. Nothing.
So the funniest part is, as Maz is describing the great Omar Sharif, he's really letting us that he knows that he's related.
Yeah,
and then
right.
in the second one, at the end of it, he says, "I am related." By process of elimination, it was definitely the lotto. Are we correct with the lotto?
Yeah.
Ricky, you got one
My
for
dad
me?
Yeah.
couldn't win a horse race if there was only one horse running.
That's how I knew, because I remember your pains as a
Yes.
kid because of your pains of your father.
I love your dad.
I
so
pretty much had something in the chamber because I played this a couple times.
Okay,
All right,
recent.
so the first one was I was a choir kid for most of my life before I got into sports or when I started sports. I am the youngest of 5 boys, and I got moved from running back to O-line freshman year in high school.
I'm gonna say Ricky is lying that he is the youngest of 5 boys.
That was going to be my guess.
Well, you still can
You can
guess
still
it.
guess it.
You still can guess it.
Yeah, that's going to be
Youngest
my
of
guess.
5. Youngest of 5. Anson.
He didn't get switched positions.
There's no way.
He told me that story, so I already know that that's true. I'm gonna go with the.
He was a quiet kid.
But he's
Got
quiet
sports?
now, so that
I
wouldn't be
said choir kid.
Oh, choir.
Oh, a
Choir.
choir kid.
Choir makes
boy. I'm
sense.
sorry, choir.
Choir boy.
Oh, choir.
That's the truth.
Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go with youngest of 5.
Yeah, that's the lie.
Yeah,
I was the youngest of 3.
I smelt that out, Ricky.
Yeah, freshman year, my coach literally said that I was too short to be a receiver and too slow to be a running back. But if you join the O-line, like, you're tough. So you join the O-line, you'll actually see the field. And I actually saw the field.
I love hearing stories about, especially, and this is not a black thing, but about our coaches, black coaches in the inner city, because it just more stories let you know they didn't know what the hell they were doing. They did not know what they were doing back in that day. Anson, I come to you. 2 truths and a lie. I know you've created some
I've
crafty
heard
stories.
of this game, but I've never played it.
It's
So
I
had
like
to-
it.
I had
It's
to
a
rally
I
for
wish I had time to
something.
think
It's a
about
tough
it.
game.
I'm going to keep it simple.
Everything he says is going to be a lie. Like, watch he finds a way to manipulate the rules of the game. Like, how do you have 3 lies? Well, they're kind of true.
His whole life is a lie.
I'm living a bunch of
All right,
lies.
Anson Wells, you are on the clock.
I lived in Thailand,
Okay.
I lived in Hungary, and I lived in Russia.
Oh, wow. Can I go first?
Yeah,
You can, Maz.
What's the middle one?
Hungry.
Yeah, he didn't live in Hungary.
Ooh,
gonna
Maz
go-
coming out the gate with a number 2 sighting. Pete,
Yeah,
what you got
I
for
agree.
us?
No hungry.
It's no hungry. Ricky,
I'm toss in Thailand for
no
the ringer.
Thailand for you.
Because I know Russia, but I don't know about.
Yeah, I know.
He might not have lived in Russia, though. He might have
he
just passed through.
No, he definitely
he
spent
could've
a
been
lot of
Ukraine.
time in Russia. I know that for a fact. Thailand and Hungary. I would go with Thailand.
Doesn't he have a Hungarian girlfriend?
I'm gonna throw Hungary in there. I'm joking. It's Thailand.
It is. I need to live in Thailand.
Oh,
but I did have a Hungarian girlfriend who well, I'll stop right there.
Yeah,
Shout
there
out
you go.
Cecilia.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, leave
was
it alone,
hungry.
leave it alone.
She was hungry.
She was blessed. I'll leave it at that. And
You were blessed.
I did live in Russia. Shout out Svieta.
How was Russia?
Svetlana.
How was it?
I lived there in 97 and 98. They were 4 or 5 years out of communism. It was still like they didn't know what was going on. There were still bread lines. There was, I brought a big bag of Tootsie Rolls, and that was like the greatest thing that I could have brought. My dad loaded me up with Levi's. I'm like, they have Levi's. But the people, especially rurally, they had been raised to not be allowed. It was illegal to learn English.
Yeah.
And we were the enemy, very much like in the 80s, they were here, And they wanted me in their home. They wanted to talk to me. They wanted to learn from me. They wanted to show me every little cool little thing that they owned. Look at my bootleg VHS collection, It was phenomenal.
Were they still pissed at losing the 1980 gold medal to us? In hockey?
That didn't come up.
Oh, that's too
Yeah,
bad.
I gotta be honest.
Well, in their face.
I'm still pissed off about the '88 basketball though.
Oh, God. The 72 when they stole it from
Oh,
the
that's
US.
what it was. I'm sorry.
72.
Yep.
Doug Collins' team.
Yep.
All right, here's mine. I'll make mine fun. You know a lot of the stories, so I won't do any of the stories that I usually tell, the Michael Jordan stories, Serena and Venus, the whole nine. All right, it's about individuals that have gotten into an establishment or gotten into the party or brought to the table.
So there's one lie in
when
here.
they couldn't get in. 100% there is.
There's one lie.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, this is about to be good.
I had to get Usher Raymond into a club. I had to get Kevin Hart into an establishment.
No, that's true.
And I had to get Eli Manning in an establishment.
That's true.
Which
I know
one
which one.
is the lie?
That's
Kevin
easy.
Hart.
First
Eli
guy.
Manning.
Who was the
Usher.
first guy?
Usher.
I'm going to say that the Usher is a lie because I see Eli being in New York at the same time. I
Yeah.
could see Kevin Hart.
Kevin
I
Hart.
don't know. I'm gonna go with Usher.
I say Eli Manning. Eli Manning.
Eli, Usher, Kevin Hart.
Usher. Everybody knows Usher, man. There's no way.
I think he knows Usher.
The answer is Usher.
What?
So, but Usher,
Usher.
in 2004 or 5, Usher was granted one of those kind of like minority ownerships of the Cleveland Cavs.
Yeah.
So he was in Cleveland all the time, but never had to get him into the club because you're right, everybody knows him.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart,
okay. Yeah,
met
okay.
Kevin Hart way before he blew up. He used to come down the circuit, do all the improvs along the way.
You could have stuck him in just by letting him walk behind you.
This is true.
No one
He-
would have saw him.
He's short in person.
Yeah.
He's short in person. He's actually funny as hell, though. He's a great dude, man. I used to love Kevin. Got him in a bunch of spots. And then Eli Manning. This is the story, and after this, we can get ready with the show. Eli
This is the
Manning.
show.
This is the show. You're
Yeah.
right. Appreciate you, man. This would have been 2005, year I get drafted. He got drafted the year before. Everybody remembers he goes number 1 overall to the San Diego Chargers, now the Los Angeles Chargers, and then eventually they switch picks. He goes to New York. Number 1 pick, fast forward a year. We're outside of Marquee. I'm about to go into the club. I'm about to hang out. I'm with my crew of people getting ready for the draft. And I see Eli Manning behind me, like waiting in line. I said, Eli, why are you waiting in line? Oh, hey, Braylon. I had met him years before because Marcus, my brother, played with Peyton Manning for the Colts. He said, I'm just waiting in line. I said, Eli, you're the number 1 pick overall for New York. You got drafted by the Big Apple. Like, don't you ever, in fact, come here, let's go. Went up the line. Shout out to my mom because I get this personality from her. Went up to the line. I said, look, we got Eli outside. We got about 10 other people, man. So get us in, get us to the table, and we'll be good. It worked. Eli said, I got to start doing that more often. Don't you know I saw him in Miami 3 years later waiting outside of a club?
I answered
But-
it
That's
wrong.
great.
But the thing about this story that made it so better is when I saw him the first time, just got drafted number 1 overall. When I see him this time in 2008,
Just won
in
the Super
summer,
Bowl.
there you go, Mads. You know exactly what I was talking
Yeah.
about. So, Eli Manning, you got it.
Oh, that's good.
You may not love him on the field, but off the field, he's a gem.
He's a sweet guy.
The whole family is a gem. I love Cooper. I love the whole family.
By the way, did you see who bought I think it was a
I
half a
answered that
percent of the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
Chucky.
Chucky.
How about it? Charles
Chucky.
Woodson.
So
A half a percent?
it's super dope when you watch your idols, you know what I'm saying, or like the people that he's a brother of mine. Like I call him brother, but be able to reach out to see him go from an individual born in Ohio that wanted to play ball and wanted to go to Ohio State, then got screwed. He goes to Michigan, becomes who he is. To just keep reaching, man. Like, yeah, bet he won the Heisman when no defensive player outright had ever won it. Goes to the league, switches position, wins Defensive Player of the Year and the Super Bowl as a Green Bay Packer. You're one of the teams that you love. Retires, starts a wine company that turns into a liquor company that he partners with the Las Vegas Raiders with. And now, to be from Fremont, Ohio, which is about an hour and 20 minutes from Cleveland, the stadium, to be part of the owner, that's a hell of a story, man. You just got to tip your hat. You have to tip your cap to people that just keep pressing forward. That people just keep going. No matter how you get there, people that keep pressing forward, got to tip your cap, man. Proud of Big Bro. Proud of Big Bro.
That's
man.
pretty cool, man.
That's super cool.
What's a half a percent cost, you think?
Couple million.
I don't understand the deal, so
Yeah.
don't come to me with that. I'll give you my opinion. if you notice, they didn't say ownership on his deal. It's partnership. I think they're allowing him to align himself with their brand and do everything with them. So whatever partners that they're with, they can now use Woodson Whiskey. They can use Intercept, which is a wine company. They can partner on things. You can make a ton more money, but also he's a representation of the Browns. You know, if he's representing your brand, Charles Woodson does it the right way. So
whether it's $1 or $10 million, he's going to make money by owning a piece of an NFL team.
100%.
Even if it's an amoeba of an NFL team.
That's the most successful human being to be associated with that franchise, aside from you, my friend, in the last 50 years.
No. It's Charles. I appreciate that compliment.
But you think about what that man is and how he's made the right moves every step of his career. That's the best personality they have involved with the Browns, as long as I can remember.
He's a great story, too. Like, you know, if you take time to dial into the story, because once he got into the league in Oakland, there were some things that happened. Everybody goes through trials and tribulations. His are no different. But he went through things in Oakland. He escapes Oakland, and he was faced with decisions. What type of player do I want to be? How do I want my legacy to be? I have another opportunity. I'm in Green Bay now.
I was shocked he went to the Packers.
Same. Like, I know Wood. Like, Wood ain't a Packers type of guy. But it made sense because you know what there aren't in Green Bay? There aren't distractions. There aren't deals. There aren't things during the season that you can get caught up with. Not even necessarily bad things.
And he won a Super Bowl.
100%. It dials you in. It focuses you onto the things you're supposed to focus on. So that's why he had the success he did. Man, shout out to him. Kudos.
My favorite college player ever.
You know what?
Hands down.
Guess what? You are not alone in that.
I know.
You're not alone in that.
I got to see him front row at Spartan Stadium with the immaculate interception when that man jumped off a table.
I was legitimately there with Pops, who's actually out there, so that was a surprise. Dad's over there, so he's gonna come on as soon as he gets off the phone.
Birthday boy.
I just knew he was throwing that ball away. Like, I knew he was throwing that ball away, and it was just, you see this hand, and he had the half sleeve.
Who threw that ball?
He had the half sleeve. It would have to have Anson, because it wasn't Ryan Van Dyke. Ryan came after, but I can't think of his name.
Smoker?
No, Smoker's a year older than me.
That's right.
Yeah, but anyway, you just see a white half hand because he had the sleeve come out of nowhere, he caught it, and got the foot in. It was crazy.
I just remember, like, I was on that first row.
I don't think I've ever seen a better interception in college than that.
They had taken out the first 3 rows at Spartan Stadium years ago, so 4th row was front row. And we were basically right on the level of where everybody was jumping, and this man is this much higher above everybody else. It was just to be able to see it at that eye level and watch his arm literally let go a whole human above everyone else. I'll never forget that moment.
You know what? The hell with it. While we're here, Matt, what's your favorite Woodson story? What's your favorite Woodson moment?
I love the kick, the punt return.
Ohio State.
Yeah.
Left side, same sideline as Desmond.
Fantastic.
Yeah, good job.
Fantastic. I mean, that team. That team was special to me. You know, I was lucky enough to be a part of the broadcast team for that team. Got to go to the Rose Bowl and all. I mean, it was fantastic, man. Fantastic.
I'm glad you said it. I don't think I've ever seen a team like that '97 team. Now, hear me out. I didn't say the best team. So if you want to say 2023 and arguments or some other team, that's fine. This isn't about that. I've never seen a more resilient team. Man, you covered them, so you remember. Pete, I know you remember as well. People don't remember, like, that wasn't a breeze season for Michigan. They should have lost how many games? Remember the Iowa game?
Right. Everything was close.
Yes.
The Iowa game?
Right.
Tim DeWhite
went lost
nuts.
Like 4 games.
Like, this is why he's the best, though. Every time you needed him, interceptions. They're losing to Iowa. They've been losing all game. 2 interceptions, 1 in the end zone, the Ohio State game. Terry Foster, the great, is in the building as well.
Oh, I love
There we go. Come on in, T.
There he is.
Come on in, T.
The great Terry Foster.
Greatest Charles Woodson moment. The newly acquired partner with the Cleveland Browns.
Can I do a
Stay behind here.
Yeah, please.
personal, Charles?
Please. We would rather that.
All right. I, as a young reporter, had to do a
There
story
he
on
is.
Peyton Manning. In Indianapolis. And so Peyton Manning's a really cool dude, but he asked, he said, I got to ask you, since you're from Detroit, who did you vote for the high school? Yep. I said, Charles Woodson. So he put his head down like, oh, man. I said, well, I had to be honest with you. He said, well, I understand it, but he just explained why he thought he should have won and blah, blah, blah. I said, that's cute, but that's who I voted for.
The funny thing is, like, that's why Peyton didn't win the award. I love Peyton. Like I told you, I've literally seen Peyton play a bunch of times, played against him. My brother, Marcus Pollard, was his tight end for 5-6 years in Indianapolis. It's the same thing with the LeBron and Michael Jordan conversation. People that know don't ask. Like for him to still tell you why he thought he won, for him to sit there and tell you, like, well, I thought I won because, sir, you lost. You talking to a guy you just don't know, or that you just met, about why you think you won. LeBron's the only great to ever say I'm the best ever. I never heard Michael say it. Never heard Kobe say it. I never heard Dr. J say it. I never heard Magic say it. LeBron's the only one.
Because he's a big mouth. He's an
That's
idiot.
because he doesn't know. That's because you're insecure. And in that moment, because Peyton damn sure ain't insecure now, but in that moment about that situation, he was insecure.
He went back to Tennessee.
Remember
he had that press conference.
Yeah.
I'm returning, for my senior year, and it was a big roar because he was going for the Heisman. Little did he know that the little guy in Ann Arbor was going to take him down.
And how crazy is it, T? Speaking of T, the very next year, T. Martin wins the national championship.
Wow.
I covered that
The
game
very
too.
next year.
Yeah.
T. Martin, Peerless Price, Travis Stevens, the running back.
I kept hearing how T. Martin was no good, but
Yeah, BS.
won the whole thing.
He
It
beat the
was no
teams
Sun
that
Bowl,
paid.
right, T?
No,
He
it wasn't
beat-
the Sun Bowl.
It was no
Fiesta
Sun Bowl. I know that.
Here's my favorite Charles Woodson story. I'll do another personal one. Not on the field. This is Charles Woodson, just the aura that is. We're at the draft in 2005. This is when I'm getting drafted. Chuck is there in the lobby that Thursday night. So I'm like, oh, what's going on, Big Will? What's up, Will? How you doing? Yo, baby, what's going on? You about to get drafted. Hung out with me that night, hung out the next day a little bit, said, yeah, I'm going to come to the draft. We get on the bus to go to the draft. The people that have credentials, you only get certain passes to go around that table. Only a couple people can come in that green room with you back in that time. Now, you can get everybody on the stage after, but the green room, there's, your mom. I had 2 moms, I had 2 dads. Had my agent, my financial advisor, myself.
How about Chiquini? Was he with you?
Yeah, Ray was there, but he wasn't on stage. So it was like eight passes or so. Charles is like, I'm coming. My mom is like, hey, Charles, we don't have a pass for it. He was like, don't worry, I'm good. I'm good. All right, bet. So we get there. It's at the Javits Center. It wasn't at Radio City. I got played in that regard, but it's cool. It's at the Javits. We walk in. They're like checking credentials. Even me, who's getting drafted. They say, okay. He's like, hey, don't worry about it. All he kept saying was, don't worry about it the whole time. Don't you know in all the videos, when you watch me at the table, guess who's sitting right next to me on the right? It's Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
Guess who's on stage with me? It's Charles. Guess who was right next to me when I'm doing interviews? What I took from that is, like, when you're him, like when you're a player that has done things on a level that everybody knows, don't act like you're not. Like, you won the Heisman. What did they give that out? The Downtown Athletic Club of New York. Like, you the dude. So he walked through there with that aura, and I kind of said, this is what I'm trying to aspire to be. Like, that in this moment, it made me a fan of him even more than I was. So that's dope.
I love that story.
Yeah, he's the guy.
Remember a young man named Brian Greasy?
Come on
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Come on now, number 14.
Yeah, we used to talk a little bit, and so I ran into him at the Super Bowl party,
Yeah.
the big party. So he was like, I can't get in. I said, dude, but you about to be drafted. What do you mean you can't get in? He said, they won't let me in. I said, I'll get you in.
You got Brian Greasy in?
Huh?
You got him in?
Failed. But I tried. No,
I thought you were telling the story because you
Still
got
a
him
great
in.
story.
I think we were in Phoenix or somewhere. So I had my stuff. I was walking through. I said, hey, this is my friend. His name is Brian Greasy. He's going to be drafted by the NFL.
Denver Broncos.
So why can't he get in? And the lady looked at me and said, well, when he walks across that stage, let me know.
Oh, wow. Oh, what a hard ass.
Fair. T, what's been going on with you, man? We're talking about the weather. The weather is crap for Memorial Day weekend. It's messing up some of these Tigers games. But nonetheless, the Tigers, how do we get here?
With this bad weather?
Well, the bad weather and the Tigers.
Oh,
I
the
think.
Tigers.
I mixed
The
in two
Tigers,
in one.
I tell you what, man, I'm not going to say shocked, but I am surprised, man. They just like the little engine that could.
What would shock you? Because
They just keep winning series, Okay. to now they have the best record in baseball. I thought the Tigers would be a little above 500, be a cute little team. But right now, they are playing ball and critical hits. I think the pitching is still great or very good.
Yeah.
And I never expected this. And I keep hearing, well, how long is this going to last? Is it, it's been 50 games. No, it's been 80 games. It started last year. I mean, this is just the same. So they got to be legit.
No, I definitely believe they're legit. And we keep talking about it. And that's what you talk about. You talk about going back to when the run started. It hasn't cooled off. Like when the run started, there has been no cooling off, and they've gotten better and better and better.
They're playing this Cleveland team, and they're a thorn on the Tigers' side.
Cleveland has pent-up aggression because of last year.
They
lose last night to the Cleveland Guardians 7-0. Flaherty loses another one on the mound. The thing that sucks about Flaherty is even in those losses, he's still only allowing 2 hits, 3 hits, and getting 8 Ks.
Right.
Just can't seem to get a win time.
Nope. And he gives up home runs, too. I looked last night. I thought he was like top 3.
I told you.
Giving up home runs.
I told you.
He's number 7, actually. So he's number 7.
Okay.
But the kid they faced yesterday, Taylor Beebe, was amazing. He shut them down 7 innings. They had his shot in the 8th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. And then Akil Baddoo came up. He struck out. Riley Green struck out. I think Torque before him struck out. 3 strikeouts in the bottom of the 8th by their top pitcher out of the bullpen, Smith, for the Guardians. So tonight, I think they got to win tonight. And what I mean by that is, I don't want to see him start to go on a streak here. Cleveland usually has their number. Yeah. I want to hit him right in the mouth tonight. Jackson Job's on the hill. Let's get the win tonight.
Sure. And young man, there's only one sport that you can win where you get shut out.
One sport where you can win when you get shut out with hockey?
Technically, it's soccer. Because hockey, even if it's 0-0 and you do the shootout, they count it as 1-0. Soccer is still 0-0, but you win.
Really?
You can't win
this is true.
A baseball game being shut out.
No, you can't.
But
That's
you
a
can't
fact.
benefit from tying in soccer. You definitely can. Let me ask you about this NBA playoffs. They've been electric. Madison Square Garden and the Knicks and what they're doing, obviously, the game the other night. What's changed about this playoffs? Like, why is this playoff so good? Why is it drawing people in? Because there's no LeBron, there's no Luka, there's no Steph. But these players are better than they've been maybe in the last 15 years or so.
Next generation.
Okay.
That's what we're seeing. So now I think we're seeing what's the league going to look like after LeBron. And it would probably be perfect if you had Luka in it, and but he's not there. But like Jalen Brunson, man, this dude, he's a monster. Makes shots, and I'm talking about late in games. I talked to a bunch of NBA players. These dudes are always talented, always cocky, always think they can do everything. But I've been told this: a bunch of these dudes, they can make a shot from anywhere with 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. But a whole bunch of these NBA players don't want to even attempt a shot in the last 30 seconds. Brunson not only wants to take it, he's going to make it too.
Yeah.
Dangerous man.
You think the Knicks come back, T? After that devastating loss? Personally, I'm a Knicks fan, and I believe the series is over. I don't think you can come back from something like they did the other night. Up 14 with 2 minutes to go, lose the game. I just don't see it. Do you think they have a chance against Indiana?
I'm going to say no, only because they lost those games at home. I might be alone. I don't believe in momentum between games.
Really?
I think every game is an individual chapter. They're all different. In fact, the team that loses in the NBA, you got their attention. They're more likely to come out and be a little bit more fired up. Now, they may not be able to sustain it for 48 minutes, but that team is the one that's more dangerous, the one that loses. So I only think this series is done because you lost at home.
I think it's over, Anson. And we talked about this. I definitely believe the series is over for the things that you both stated. But the one thing that Knicks, if they want to get back into the game, if they want to get back into this series, they have got to slow this pace down. And it stems from half-court offense. Tom Thibodeau, half-court offense has to be better this game.
Yeah, I can't say that either team is better than the other team. One team's going to be hotter than the other team, and we saw that happen at the right time for the Pacers. Listen, put your money on the Knicks tonight. The Knicks are going to get a W at home. I know they've struggled at home. and I know that you guys hate the conspiracy theorist in me, but again, this is the largest media market. Having games in New York is important to the NBA.
So the refs will guide them, is what you're saying?
I know you guys hate that, but
How has that worked out since 1973?
it hasn't. But they like them in the playoffs. They like them. They like the peasants in the playoffs. That's for sure. I just think that this is a game that these two teams are very closely matched. I think they win it on their home court, but I don't know if they can go to Indy and steal one. Is the issue.
Pistons. Let me get up before you get out of here, because I know you're standing back there just chilling, man. How your knees doing? How your legs holding
They're
up?
doing good. I'm impressed by this chair here.
Oh,
man.
we'll keep you longer then. Talk about how the Pistons fit into this dynamic now. Talking about what the East is. It seems like the East might be available if you play your cards right in this offseason. What do the Pistons need to do you think, in your eyes, to be in this conversation? Because they're in the playoffs. Check. What do they need to do to get in this conversation?
One or two things they can do, but here's what I would do. I don't like the fact where you have Tom Gores coming out saying, well, we want to win a playoff series next year. And I think Trajan Langdon was like chilling out. If it's me, I'm doing something to try to win a championship next year. Screw winning a series, screw being competitive. You've seen the East crumble. If we're sitting here right now talking about Boston and Cleveland are in the Eastern Conference Finals, they got rid of the opposition in 4 or 5 games, then I might say, you know what, that's too ambitious. But when you see it's Indiana and New York, and you took New York to the brink, and you could probably, say, you know what, there was a pathway to winning that series, and it didn't happen. Maybe I'm talking different, but right now I'm like, hey, I'm not afraid of anybody.
I like that. Not afraid of anybody. That's what
Giannis is about to leave Milwaukee.
Not afraid of them. Not afraid of them. Anybody.
Don't ask Anson about that.
And I don't see Milwaukee in the Final Four either, right?
Not at all.
Anson doesn't want to break up the team for one guy, and I kind of. Do you, Terry?
Yeah.
Would you break up this team for one guy?
But let me ask you this before hold on.
Yeah, because it's going to cost a lot of players to get in.
Before you ask that, when you say break up, what does break up it mean? Because if you're going to be able to keep, a essential core, what is the breakup?
Let Anson answer.
It's Ron Holland and either Duren or Ivy. I have no problem losing Ron Holland, but Duren and Ivy are so young and just scratching the surface of their potential. Pistons would be playing right now still if Ivy was healthy.
I would like to keep Duren.
I would love to keep Duren, but you look at Ivy and Cade, and you basically got SGA and Jalen Williams just switched around. They do very much similar things. Let these guys age together. They're all 23 or younger basically right now. So to break up that core of young guys that are still on rookie deals, there's only one guy that I would see trading Duren for that we'd be better, and that would be Domantas Sabonis. But I don't think that you can get him for those two guys and anything less than 3 first-rounders. Now, obviously we don't have one this year, and we'll be picking towards the second half of the drafts going forwards. I don't have a problem giving up draft picks. Duren is just too special, and Ivy, what I saw out of him the first 2 months of this season, I can't give that up.
Here, one thing though about Ivy, I hear you about Ivy. We don't know if he can hit that 3-pointer in a playoff game. We know he can hit it in the regular season. Mm-hmm. Like we thought Beasley could hit that shot.
No, sir.
But he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Early in his career, we thought Kobe could hit that shot, but he couldn't. So the playoffs is just this different animal where everybody doesn't want to, be the alpha dog. I'm
seeing the chat here. Demand Ice. Duren has hit his ceiling at 22.
No way.
Come on, bro. He's 22.
Are you kidding?
He's 22. You just see what he did in the first half of the season versus January on. Look at his numbers. That is what's coming from Duren. The guy, I don't want to say a 15-15 guy, but there's no reason he can't be a 15-12 guy. But he is asked to do so much offensively and defensively and on the boards.
You're right. he will be a 15-15 guy because of all the things they asked him to do. If you focus Jalen Dorn and just tell him all we need you to do is rebound and every once in a while catch a oop, catch a tip dunk like Obi Toppin did. Maybe we give it to you, develop just a little bit of a back to the basket type game. He can get you 15-15 because you're not asking him to come out to the 3-point line, rotate around, do other things. He's focusing. He can be a 15-15 guy.
Spend the summer with the dream.
Yeah.
Get some post moves. That's all it needs, man. He's 22 years old.
Yeah. Carl Roscoe, a.k.a.
That is
36.
ridiculous. And plus, you know who's in these guys' ears? Isaiah Thomas. He was a guy that said every offseason, add a little something to your game. And I had a conversation with Rick Mahorn. Remember, Rick Mahorn just played inside, and he said this. If I was playing in today's game, guess what I'd be doing? I'd be practicing my three-pointer. And he said, I wouldn't be hitting them like Steph Curry, but I tell you what, I'd be hitting 33% of them.
That's all you need.
Add something to your game.
Add something to your game.
Yeah, he developed a nice 15 to 18 footer in the second half of his career.
It was all right.
SGA MVP over Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo. You cool with that?
Yes, I was. I just thought this was his year. That
It was.
It was
Fair.
a special year. Had the best record in the NBA.
Yeah, they won 68 games.
Yeah, right.
You love Belle Isle stories. Here's a Belle Isle story for you. The Grand Prix is back in a couple months. In a couple of weeks.
Next weekend.
You going down there? You're going down. You're gonna be a part of the vibes. I know Peter be down there. I'll be down there.
I'm thinking about it. I,
You should.
for the last 3 years, have volunteered at the Detroit Grand
Nice.
Prix.
Were you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you said you volunteered.
Yeah, I volunteered.
All right, cool.
They had me in the Renaissance Center, so I wasn't really outdoors, but I was helping.
What'd they have you doing, Terry?
That's not
I
bad because
was
it was
working
hot
the
the
media
last 3
center.
years.
Oh, okay.
So, I
Giving
thought
credentials out and stuff?
No, I thought I was going to do that, but they had me doing some neat stuff. I was driving drivers
Okay.
to the media center and then to a door to the media center, and then they would walk up.
I know exactly where you're at. You're at the Renaissance Center across where the parking structure used to be, and that's where they had the inside set up for the media. Like you walked inside, came down to the right, like a little ramp.
You're so right,
I know
Mr.
exactly
K-Line.
where you're at.
There you go.
Oh, Mr.
yeah,
K-Line.
Can't put anything by you.
Can't put anything by me. Can't put anything by
Good to
you.
see you,
Shout
Terry.
out to the
You too, buddy
GOAT,
boy.
Terry Foster in the
All
building.
right.
Always
Legend.
a pleasure, man. Thank
All
you
right,
so much
fellas,
for joining.
thanks for having me.
Hey, look, and when we say legend, we don't throw these legend terms. We're not just throwing them out. We say legend. T. Foster is a legend.
Ask
Media
the-
and journalism is safe. Tom Masway, you say what you want to about the jokes in the chair. Legend.
Thanks,
Legend in this field. We bringing you the best, bro.
Todd Schultz threw that pick.
It was Todd Schultz. It was
Schultz?
Todd. He was throwing about. I'm not even mad at Todd Schultz. If I was a Michigan State fan, I'd say, look, you did what you could do. Charles Wilson was just
Hey,
great.
is Stan still here?
He is. He's about to
All
come in
right.
now. Let's get a commercial break in. Let's hear about the best pizza pies in the great state of Michigan, maybe even this
And
nation.
I love it because we're talking about legends in the house. We're talking about legendary pizza. Buddy's Pizza's been around since 1946. In fact, that original location at 6 Mile and Conant still stands. 79 years later, 22 locations throughout Metro Detroit. Download that Buddy's Pizza mobile app and start earning today. You can add some Detroit style deep dish to your next meal, and you can save 10% off when you do it. Just add in 10 meal. That's again pound 10 meal on their website, buddiespizza.com.
Expert, it's Dr. Pierce, Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. He's with us every Tuesday on Big D Energy. Joins us here on the Big Show on Thursday. Is here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. He's got that special sauce, so make sure you show up. It's in Livonia. Michigan Sports and Spine. Give him a call, 248-426-9944, or hit him up online, michigansportsandspine.com.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media. X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone. Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Gentlemen, you know that we like simple stuff like Penei Sewell, keeping his quarterback upright. We like uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, sign in, and before you know it, you are handsome and clean and your hair is did. Maybe like that. Probably not. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because it's wicked awesome.
Indeed, it is wicked awesome. You know what else is wicked awesome is the White Claw Tigers Tour. That's right. Starts off tonight at McShane's, May 23rd. The heavyweights, join the heavies down there. They will be having fun. Be a part of the party, man. You don't have to watch from afar. You don't have to go get tickets to the Tiger games if you don't want to, because you can come party with us, man. May 23rd, that is today. It starts tonight. June 13th, we'll be at Nemo's. June 19th, second best. And then the 29th, we will be at the Old Miami to wrap up the White Claw Tiger Tour, brought to you by Easttown Distributors and Ben Johnson Law. You want to be in the mix. This is what we do. Nobody has more fun than Woodward Sports. So come on down.
It's going to be a good time.
I believe that. I don't think anybody has more fun than us. Like when you pull up on events, pull up at things, we make everybody feel very welcome.
We're family. We're familia.
First of all, this is a whole salon right here on the other side of that glass. And when we see people staring behind masks, what do we always do? Come on in. Be a part of the show. Especially Ryan. So look, we want you to be there because it is fun. Basketball tonight, SGA, the Wolves, the whole nine, but I think there's some more pressing issues.
Yeah, we're talking about being part of the show. You guys have an opportunity to be part of the show with your super chats. Yesterday, we did not run the prize package. We went a little long. So everything from yesterday is laying on the ground up front there. We doubled down today with even more up top. And right here is a 1989 sealed pack of Don Ross. Ooh. There could be a $600 to $700 Ken Griffey Jr. rookie in there. And, of course, right next to it, you see the legend himself, Braylon Edwards, has signed his rookie card for you. We got a Max Clark rookie card in here. We got a
Max Clark cleared the bases
Young
yesterday.
Rookie card. I mean, there's some awesome cards in here. Old school, new school. Aaron Nesmith, rookie, after he went off the other night. But it is a really fantastic prize package. I see Dante 151 back in here. But do not worry. If you got in yesterday, we are holding those entries, and we are doubling them for everybody that got in yesterday. Want to catch up with this super chat real quick. Michael Wary, $5. Everybody, please stop freaking out because the Tigers lost. It's still only May. You are right about that one. Dante 151 dropping a $20 chat in with a fun little emoji. And, of course,
Dante
he
got paid
followed up
today.
with 5 more. Dante 151, the best moment of Peyton Manning was him going off on Jeff Saturday when Jeff was wondering why they didn't run the ball so close to the end zone.
That was a good one. That was actually a really good rant. That was a good one. That was indeed a good one.
What did you tell him? You just do your position, let me do mine, or something like that.
It was
he said something else. But
he said something, but it sounded like that. It sounded somewhere similar into what that was. Look, Tigers is what it is. Nobody's tripping about these Tigers. Look, this is what happens when you play 162 games. It happens from time to time. You look at what Jack Flaherty did. He still only allowed 3 hits. They were home runs, but he allowed 3 hits, and then 8 Ks as well with that. So
they had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th, only down 3, right?
100%.
Game could have gone either way.
No one here at this network, especially on this show, is tripping.
I got to hang out with Nick at night last night. Nick Koloff, our Tigers beat reporter. Me and him up in the press box. We had a great time. This kid is running all over the place. Anytime the Tigers had a chance to do something, he'd run out of the press box, run down all the way downstairs to the home plate area, had his camera, had his phone, and he was ready to go. And the Tigers gave him nothing to shoot last night. Absolutely nothing, except Jack Flaherty got his 1,000th strikeout. And matter of fact, Nick put up a tweet on our Woodward Sports page before the Tigers even put it up on the scoreboard. So great job by Nick.
Hardest working man in baseball.
Yes, sir.
Nick is doing some amazing things for the network as it relates to the sport of baseball. So, man, check him out from time to time. We appreciate him.
Sit him down and make sure he watches Ken Burns baseball.
I sure will.
Yeah,
he needs to watch that.
Good call.
All of you do.
A good call.
Are the
And Moneyball.
Timberwolves done?
Yeah.
They looked outclassed last night. They just don't have the offense. You saw DiVincenzo kind of catching fire a little bit in the beginning of the first half. That dried up. I thought that the Timberwolves actually played a very good game. They were shooting over 40% from 3 at halftime. But it's funny because at the end of that game, I watched the interview with SGA and my boy J-Dub, and the reporter said it's like an avalanche, the same word I used yesterday. Teams give their best and can hang with this team, and then don't look now. But an avalanche gets triggered, and it's a 20-point game like that. Now, I think that this game will come back to OKC for a Game 5. I just don't think that Minnesota can win both games at home. I don't see a sweep, but they just are too offensively challenged. When you have 2 of the greatest defensive teams in the league, and one of them is just so much better offensively than the other. But can we just talk about my boy J-Dub? Because I told you guys all, most of you didn't know who this guy was, and I know I'm catching a lot of flack for being an OKC fan.
What's his entire name?
Jalen Williams.
Thank you.
But there's 2 of them, and so they go by J-Will and J-Dub. I have been a fan of J-Dub since I drafted him in my dynasty basketball league. I've been watching him come out of Santa Clara. I've been a fan of that kid, and watching that team lift up with him. If you ever get a chance to watch any kind of interview with him, he's a phenomenal human being, and his game has gotten to the level where I am comfortable saying this. MJ and Pippen 2.0. That is what we are seeing in OKC right now.
Wow.
And these 2 young men are so young, I believe 26 and 23, 24. With their capital and the supporting cast that they have right now, and the big 3 with your boy Chet, who showed out last night, this team is going nowhere, and J-Dub and SGA are the closest thing we have ever seen to Jordan and Pippen.
Wow. I'll just respectfully say this. Don't compare 2 individuals with 6 rings to 2 individuals that are trying to get their first ring. With that being said, they definitely played a part. Because J-Dub on the offensive side of the ball, he can score, he can do the shot, he can hit the shots in the corner, he can hit the shots from time, he can get to the cup, he can hit the mid-range. And then on defense, that's what he's known for. Defense is what his prowess is. And SGA, he continues to impress. Look, I told you he doesn't do anything for me, but watching great basketball does. Watching great sport does, and that's what he plays. He plays the game at the highest level, and you watch him. He's
what
unmatched.
Doesn't he do for you?
You said what?
What doesn't he do for you?
I don't want to make it about that, so I won't. He's too calm and relaxed and just chill. He's quiet. Like, I'm not that type of player. Like, remember when we first started the show, when I would really get passionate about it, I would start yelling because I'm a passionate guy. I bring that passion. So for me, what I appreciate is seeing the passion that I like. So I agree that he's a great player. He just doesn't do it for me. There's nothing wrong with that. But he's an amazing player. And when you watch his team play, they respect him with the utmost respect. And they play. Go, what are you about to say?
Is he misunderstood? He doesn't do media. He doesn't do interviews. He does on occasion.
That doesn't bother me. Like, it's not the
No, but
big
what I'm
out
saying
there.
is
Yeah.
I think that people don't know who he is, and I think that he's misunderstood.
There's no connection to him.
For sure.
Maybe that's what it is.
And everything that I've heard and read, this is as competitive of a human being you will ever meet.
Well, he is, because 38 in game 2, after you're announced the MVP, see, this is what I did appreciate about that. Like, you can get the MVP and you can rest on the laurel of having a trophy and rest on a win. But he didn't do that. He went out there and said, you know what, people have a problem with me winning this award. I'll show them why I won this award. I'll show them why I'm here. I'll show them why I should have won it last year, in my humble opinion, is what he's thinking. So I appreciate the game and I'm watching it. Maybe I'll become a fan. But at this particular time, I just appreciate the brand of basketball he plays, which is at an excellent level.
First guy in the gym, last guy out. Right. J-Dub, as a rookie, saw that, gravitated towards it. He was there with him. You know, J-Dub at 5'10", had a 6'11" wingspan.
You don't always have to like people that are great. Like Paul Pierce. Like, Paul, say what you want to him about after basketball if you don't like a fan of his, his IG lives per se, or the things he talks about. When he played, he was great. Like, even before KG and Ray Allen got there, he was always good. And then when they got there, he elevated. He beat Kobe. I never liked this game.
No, his game was ugly.
Never liked this game.
His game was like a stumbling Ginobili. This guy looked out of control traveling, and somehow he puts up this little one-hand floater, and it's good. Don't leave him alone for three. But, if you've watched that Celtic City, the shooting outside the club, or inside the club, but the shooting that he went through, which most people forget, he almost died.
Yeah.
That completely changed his life, and he went from a guy that may not have, he didn't want to be a Celtic.
He got stabbed before he even played.
Yeah, it was stabbed, not shot. So, I look at this OKC team, and they're terrified, to be quite honest with you. The Pistons could go out and sign Miles Turner, get healthy, and make it back, and make it to the finals, beat everybody in the Eastern field. Because, as Terry Foster pointed out, the East there's no direction. You don't know who it's going to be next year. Is it Boston? Is it New York? Who the hell is it? Yeah. Pistons have an opportunity to be one of the class in the East, but who the hell is going to beat this OKC team? I don't see it happening anytime soon. They've got so much capital where they can just take some of these guys that are playing for them now, trade one of their 8 draft picks they have, first-round draft picks they have over the next 4 years, and get anybody they damn want. Anybody they want.
They are it right now. 68 wins. That snuck up on me, man. I didn't realize that they won 68 games until, obviously, when the playoffs hit, I paid more attention to it. I don't really pay attention to the West except for Steph and hating on LeBron. That's my only 2 objectives in the West. But OKC, man, like Anson says, I'm not excited to watch them because they're playing the Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves don't do it for me. So maybe I'm not locked in on this West final, but the way they've dismantled this team that was there last year is really impressive. And I believe it's a sweep. Yeah. I do.
Julius Randle just absolutely disappeared last night.
Well, Julius Randle was tired because Julius Randle is he's the only player, including Ant, that has played on both sides every single game of this playoffs. And look, last night he was tired. I think what's also starting to happen too is you're starting to see that we forgot how big of a liability Rudy Gobert was in that post because of the first 2 easy rounds that they dealt with. Rudy Gobert had 27 and 24 in the last game, and it made you forget about the liability. The bigs of OKC, Hardenstein, you can't pull that on Hardenstein. Chet is a long defender, and we'll get better. Like, you can't pull that. So he's not able to have that little contribution that he does. He's a 7'3" waste of space in a series like this. He's clogging up the middle. They found some offense from, ironically enough, SGA's first cousin last night.
Who's that?
Nikhil Alexander. Nikhil
wow.
Walker Alexander. That's his first cousin.
How about that?
Like, he found some offense, but like you said, Julius Randle, tired, no offense. Anthony Edwards, 32 points. They only have 2 people every night, and 2 people is not going to beat the machine that OKC is.
And Rudy Gobert?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, what, he dropped 5 and 9 last night?
in 30 minutes.
This guy has been non-existent in this series. They really don't have a chance outside of being able to hit shots all game long. And they did that in the first half of both of these matchups, and then they just get run up. But what are the other things that, on the heels of your comment about Julius Randle and Ant-Man just looking dog, dead, tired, you look at this OKC rotation, and they very rarely have the big 3 on the court together until that fourth quarter. They'll take J-Dub out, let SGA run, then they'll sit SGA and put J. The fourth quarter, when you get them full strength, if you're on your heels at all, if you're trailing at all, even if you're up by 5, this team's an absolute avalanche the moment they're triggered.
What a shame that Oklahoma City is going to have an NBA championship. To me, that's like an oxymoron. How this place has a team, an NBA team, and they left Seattle. We all know the Rich Cowboy bought them and moved them to OKC. I know David Stern was okay with that, I guess. And just like what Gary Bettman did with hockey, bringing it to Arizona and stuff like that, but Arizona failed after a while. Is this like a long-term thing? Do you believe this team can survive and live in Oklahoma City?
I'll let Anson answer that because it's a long.
I mean, listen, that blew out.
I know.
And then the white out.
It looked great.
Why can't they survive?
I don't know. It's the smallest. I guess if Green Bay can do it, I guess it could do it.
Detroit did it, and to his point yesterday, all of the celebrities in MSG are kind of a distraction at this point. You see all these celebrities and the amount of money that you have to pay to get in those first front seats. I see 10-year-olds in the front row in OKC right now.
I see OKC. I see a working mass because I see it's a small city that they're building out. They're building out. They have a ton of money. They're winning. Money.
The Tulsa thing is there.
But that's what I'm saying. But money brings more. You build around it. I think I think so. I think they can build this thing like Green Bay.
Trivia question. You're excluded.
Hold on.
What bad boy won a championship with the Supersonics?
The Supersonics?
I know you know.
Oh.
You can say it.
John Sally?
No, sir.
No, he never played for the Supersonics.
86-87 rookie. They won in 79.
Yeah.
With Jack Sikma.
Gus
Johnson.
He's my same last name. James Edwards.
Williams.
Who was it?
The microwave.
Vinny.
Oh, Vinny Johnson. That's what I was
Side
thinking.
note, and we can go to commercial break
Vegas
because
event.
we get Mark White in here, switch the topic. You always talk about breaking up a team. You always talk about giving away more than you need to one of these superstars, and it doesn't work out. Anson, you have never been more right as it relates to the Minnesota Timberwolves because they gave up 4 first-rounders and a bunch of other players for Rudy Gobert, who you knew it wasn't going to work. And then in a desperation move, they gave up Cat, who was the better of the two, for Julius Randle so that they can get some players and recoup some of what they gave up for Gobert. A lot of times you go for that, let's give this, let's give that, let's get that, let's get this player. It does not work.
Worst trade, getting Rudy Gobert or giving up the kid?
Rudy Gobert is worse than Deshaun Watson.
I'm talking about giving up KG. Because they got nothing in that deal because Danny Ainge was involved.
Yeah, they got nothing.
Two terrible trades. We're never going to accuse the Timberwolves of being run well.
Well, now Alex Rodriguez is one of their owners. So, we'll see.
Well, they're part of Target. Target can't seem to get things right these days. Let's get a message in from Mark White.
Yes, sir, guys. Dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Well, Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right. That's $5,000 that you get to keep. Call Mark White and his team today. 248-290-8242. Visit them online as well, markwhitesells.com. Again, that number, 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Are you a real Detroit Detroit sports fan. Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media: X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! The boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Hey guys, looking to upgrade your relaxation game? Well, Stan was just in here checking this out. My man Stan Edwards, he's buying one of these. He's going to Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, and you know it's on the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road, right up the street. The largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. They have Infinity and Osaki and the other top brands for massage chairs. Experience the luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan. He is the wellness doc. You can visit him on the YouTube Massage Chair Review channel. Book a visit right now, massagechairhouse.com. Scan that QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. With over 50 metropolitan Detroit. Look, why am I trying to read the read? You know what it is. It's Planet Fitness. This is where you come to get in shape. The gyms are clean. Everybody feels great. They look good. Guess what? So can you. The key word is we feel good because there's no judgment there. Nobody's judging you on anything you do. Let you work out. Do whatever you want to do. Just don't drop the weights because they will ring the bell.
Yes.
And you don't want that to be on you, man. Come on down. Gyms are clean. The trainers are friendly. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. I've been reading that read for 5 years. Why was I trying to read it?
Right, I got some super chats I want to read real quick.
All right, you get some super chats.
Up.
Before we do that, we're going to get into $15 all-time Detroit Lions lineup. We will pick that. You see what's going on the screen right now. Trying to pick 15 is insane because he played the quarterback position. We'll get back to that in a second, but take a snapshot of it, and then that way you pick your team as well. Anson, go ahead.
Lots of hate for my MJ Pippen comparison, but you shall see. You shall see. Dante 151 with $10. There's two reasons why he wants OKC to win it. Dante DiVincenzo, that piece of you know what.
You guys share a name.
All week long, he's been hating on Dante.
You share the same
And
name.
2, Dante DiVincenzo. He tried to injure Sar Thompson last season when Dante was
remember.
a Nick. And then our friend Jason Kenyon, the Cowboy. Oklahoma has been starving for a pro team. These guys have a venue in OKC and also play in Tulsa. When all you have is OU and Oklahoma State, the Thunder are a serious blessing. OKC is only second to Detroit as a fan base. Hey.
I'm having some fun with this, man. I'm over here like trying to pick. I haven't lost the show a little bit, trying to find my all-time lineup. Tom Asway, we still do have some sound from the Detroit Lions. I know you guys are down with the Lions. We got some sound on Sam Laporta out of Allen Park, as well as we got some NFL stuff, Tom. So
We do. Sam Laporta,
You
by the
have
way.
some fun with it.
Sam Laporta's on this sheet. Well, you want to try to build your best Detroit Lions team. Woodward Sports has that out on the Twitter, of course, on X. So check it out. We're going to get that in a second. But Sam Laporta, he could be the next tight end in your team. Right now, he wants to talk about his new coach. It's Tim Roll.
Your new position coach there. Seems like a pretty fiery, smart guy. Tyler's been great so far. Our first phone call, he talked about, gaining trust with us. And I think he's starting to do that. And we love him so far. Very fiery, as you mentioned. And we appreciate all that. We love him.
Hey, he says the right thing. They all say the right thing, these guys. They all got a lot new position coaches on this team and a lot of new coordinators, both new coordinators, offense and defense. You got new coaches on this team as well. They still have a lot of talent on this team, and, of course, they added to it with all of their picks in this last draft. But, fellas, Bray, I can ask you because you've been on 2 or 3 teams. Changing a coaching staff almost in full. A couple of guys moved around, but other than that, they brought in a lot of new talent on this team. How does it affect the team going forward?
if people don't come in trying to, change the way something has already existed, like the Detroit Lions already have an offense that works. Like, it works to the tune of being the best offense in the NFL. If you go by statistics, if you come in as a coach, this already works. Like, my job as a coach is to implement the way in which the coaches want to put in game plans. So, however, offensive coordinator Johnny Moe wants to put it in, it's my job as, it's my job as Coach Rule to put it in, implement it in the way that it's taught, not change anything. You got a couple little nuances here or there. They already are a fine oil machine. You just got to keep that oil running. You just have to be a reminder. That's what coaches become at this point. Once you get good, once you're dialed in, you just become a reminder. Hey, just make sure you get your depth on that. Hey, make sure you do 1, 2, 3, catch the ball, then tuck, and then go up the field. Hey, make sure on this play you remember now this is going to be a hard count. So just make sure you take it. That's it. So you can't necessarily, to your point, you can't mess that up. So I'm excited to hear what they're going to do this year, man. I'm excited to see. I think Sam Laporta, I know he wants to have a better year. And it's not necessarily he had a bad year. There's some injury stuff in there. There's some schematical things, and implementing J-Mo a little bit here than there. But I know he wants the ball. He's a baller out of Iowa. He balled year one. Like, when you get used to that type of success, you want to have more. So this is going to be a pivotal year. And him and Aiden pushing each other, it's going to be fun.
And I think that Morton is going to utilize Laporta more because, as we heard yesterday, Ben Johnson likes explosive plays, and that is J-Mo explosive Williamson. So when I look at the defense, I know that we're going to miss AG because he was awesome, but this is the best defense that the Lions have ever had, hands down, in my entire lifetime.
Yeah.
And then this offense, nothing's changed. In fact, the offensive line has gotten deeper and better. And I think when you take less chances and you play more to your strengths instead of getting bored with first downs and needing big plays, we're not going to miss any of the assistant coaches and coordinators that we lost last year. This team will be better with these new faces.
That remains to be seen. We will see, and that's a strong statement, so we will see. Time will tell all for everybody. The one thing about AG, though, that was different, it's the conversation on the field. It's the conversation to his safety. Hey, look, this isn't how we do it. This is how we do it. It's the conversation to a DB. How did you see it on that play? Break it down so that we can get on the same page. It's the conversation to the coaches. AG was magnificent
No
at
doubt.
that. He was magnificent. How many times, man, did you catch yourself just watching AG coach on the TV? I didn't even need to hear what he was saying.
I like when he was sitting on the bench after they wrap up a game and he's chilling with his legs crossed.
So
that was my favorite part. That's like the victory cigar.
And things like that. That's why we're appreciative that it's Kelvin Shepherd that's taking the mantle, because he saw firsthand how that worked for this team, how that worked for the players. So I don't want him to be AG, but I want him to implement some of the things that he knows works for this team that he saw AG do.
No doubt. Now there's other tight ends on this team as well. You know, the Lions use them all. Dan Campbell, the former tight end. By the way, he's on that sheet too, if you could build a team, and we're going to get to that in a minute. But here is Sam Laporta talking about his buddy, Brock Wright.
Together with Brock now for 3 years. What is the value of that continuity within a room to have a guy that you know what he's about, he knows what you're about, and you have that trust built up?
Yeah, in terms of like communication, it's getting to the point where a lot of things don't really need to be said between Brock and I. We're just out there and we know what we both need. We know what's going on. We kind of just look at each other, like give each other the agreeance look, like this is how we're going to work this set or, you know, fit this run scheme. So we're just on the same page a lot, and communication is starting to become less and less, which is a good thing. Just operating without all the extra stuff, I guess.
Yeah, you got Shane Zylstra. I'm not sure if he's even still on the team or not, but they let James Mitchell walk. But they'll probably bring in a couple of more pass-catching tight ends as well. They all block. Brock Wright got paid last year. They kept him out of San Francisco. And we all said, when it comes down to paying all your guys that you want to keep, Sam Laporta is going to be due next year. Do you keep him? Or do they keep a Brock Wright who is a cheaper version of Sam Laporta? Or am I underselling Sam Laporta because of the slow start he had last year? I mean, he didn't have the year he had the first year that he had last year.
Yeah, you're not underselling it, because you saw last year that you didn't necessarily need him like that. Or you saw that, you know what, maybe that year one was a lot of schematics versus the greatness of Sam Laporta. Now, I'm not going to be Sam can play. That boy can play his game. He can play his positioning. So I think this is going to be a pivotal year to see how you can use him, because he's not going to be somebody I think you have to pay the max to. He's not going to be somebody that's going to, we got to pay him what Travis Kelce got in year 7. We don't have to pay him what, Brock Bowers is going to get at some point.
I mean, they traded Hockenson because they drafted this kid out of Iowa. They're smart shoppers.
Yeah, they traded.
So you already know that Brad Holmes is looking next year. Who am I going to pick? I'm probably going to take a tight end in one of the top 3 rounds.
That's right.
And maybe back himself up.
It just depends on what you have to pay him, though, Maz, because, look, by him not having numbers and stats last year, he didn't double what he did the year before. So now you're looking at him in a certain market, Anson. This would be better for you. You're not looking at him in a certain market anymore because he had this fall-off year. He has another just serviceable year. You don't have to pay him the moon. Mm-hmm. He's a tight end at the end of the day. No disrespect to, but what they get paid, this isn't a position that's going to handicap you if you have to pay him top 8 money, top 10 money.
I imagine that other teams would be really happy to throw money at him, especially what he put on film his first year. I think he was badly underused last year. I think he's your third running back out there. When you can dump the ball over the middle and a controlled play like that.
But let me ask you, you say badly used. They won 15 games.
Certainly. I felt like Ben Johnson wanted to get J-Mo going. And I felt like there was a lot of situations that called for a very easy pass over the middle to your really good tight end instead of an end-around pass play from J-Mo, or many of the times where we saw an offensive coordinator that we know now prefers the big play instead of the play that works. Laporta works, and we know that. I would imagine that you're going to see a little bit of a regression from J-Mo this year, and you're going to see a positive regression out of Laporta back closer to what he did his first year. I think it's going to be hard for him to repeat what he did his first year, especially with this new offensive coordinator. I think they're going to play a more smash mouth controlled offense.
If there's regression out of J-Mo, I would be alarmed if there were.
Well, isn't regression kind of doing what he did or just a little bit less?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Because everybody's expecting him to go to 1,100.
I got you. Regression in numbers, not in play.
Correct.
Okay, respect.
Correct.
I was just going to bring up I'm still going to beat the Cincinnati Bengals drum, call the Bengals. They're not going to start the season with Mike Gesicki at tight end. They're just not going to do it. I'm sorry. That's not a compliment to the wide receivers, to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. It's not going to work. So if Laporta is due max money and you want to see him go and he can be a really, really good tight end somewhere and get production and get work where they don't have a dominant running back like Jahmyr, because this is Jahmyr Gibbs' team. We don't need, right now, we don't need firemen at the tight end position. And I think that Sam Laporta would do better as a Bengal at this point in time, because I think the Lions would do better bringing in Trey Hendrickson. I'm beating that drum, but that's the drum I'm beating.
There it is.
That drum is done, by the way.
I knew
They're closing in on signing Hendrickson.
Cincinnati's
going to
pay him.
They will.
You know what it is? You can't pay, and then you cannot not pay an individual that comes out and speaks that well, lays it all out like that, and then his body of work matches the conversation. You would just be an idiot.
You would look like you had egg on your face.
100%.
No doubt about it. Hey, last one from Sam Laporta. We all talked about the Olympics in 2028 in L.A. Flag football. Well, he was asked about flag football. Here's Sam Laporta.
News comes down that the NFL players are going to be allowed to play at the Olympics. What's the reaction among the group, and is that something that you would, like to do if you're able?
That's 2028. I feel like that's so far away. I mean, just thinking back, like 2 years coming into the league in 2023, and now it's 2025. It feels like an eternity, to be honest, in the best way possible. But that's pretty far away. If I was to be selected, I feel like I would participate. Just such a cool thing to represent your country. So we'll see, but that's in a couple of years. I'm not sure when the training would start for that either, to be honest.
There's going to be a lot of Sam Laportas out there. Not sure. I mean, it sounds great. Yeah, I'm going to go. You got to go to the Olympics. But you know what? You're not going to another country. You're only going to L.A. So it is kind of it is a home Olympics. So it's an honor, man. It's an honor to represent your country in the Olympics, for crying out loud. But flag football, man, it's going to be great. They're going to have their own league. But I just don't think, man. And, man, it's tough. As a person that just wants to watch the game, I would love to see the best players playing for the country, playing for the U.S. But if one of my guys goes down, I will be devastated.
Right?
Man,
gets taken out by some plumber from Germany.
Yeah.
I think you guys.
Amen.
I think you guys hit the nail on the head as it relates to the players actually wanting to play in this. Because when I was listening to that podium talk, that session, if you will, by Laporta, this is what I heard. When is it? That's like 2028. It's like
whatever.
That's BS. You know exactly when it is. You know exactly how many years it is. They've already been talking about that. I saw that as, I think players want to play in it.
Yeah,
and you hear how you say, he's like,
I know they do.
Well, that's a couple years from now. But I'm saying you're right.
Yeah.
You're 1,000%. I'm not right. I thought you would have guys like, I'm good. I don't need to play in that. But
it ain't the Pro Bowl. It's the Olympics.
Shout out Sam Laporta, graduated top of his class in the police academy this summer.
Check him out.
I'm kidding. What did he do to his look?
Sam's never had a look. But he's never had a look.
He's got a cop look now.
Yeah, like a
Shout out
state
Boys in
trooper.
Blue.
Like a state trooper.
Shout out.
I got
He's
you.
University of
Mustache and
Iowa.
everything.
That's about the look. Man, I'm excited, man, for this $15 all-time line.
Yeah, let's have some Memorial Day fun. Come on.
I'm super excited.
Before we get to that, real quick, Michael Wary, Shep will have this D flying around everywhere and West Coast line with $10. Getting in that chat. Love the draft. Love my team. LFG from Seattle.
How about it?
Guys, you guys got a little bit more time,
Love
about 30
Seattle.
minutes to get in this. Get that sealed 89 pack and pull yourself a Ken Griffey rookie.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We put it up before, guys. Let's put up the
do it up
paper.
again, buddy.
You can keep us or one of
put
us
up- yeah,
on
I'll
there
take
if you
care of
want.
yours.
Here we go. It is Detroit football,
Detroit.
all-time lineup for the Lions. You get $15. You need one quarterback, a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, and one defensive player. You saw the rules.
I'll go first. This is easy.
Just so I can go across for everybody. Your quarterbacks for $5, you got Matthew Stafford, $4 Goff, $3 Bobby Lane, $2 for Scott Mitchell, and $1 for Greg Landry. Running backs, you got Barry Sanders, Billy Sims, Jahmyr Gibbs, Reggie Bush, David Montgomery. Wideouts, Calvin, Herman, Amon-Ra, Golden, and Brett Perriman. Tight ends, the great Charlie Sanders, the late great Charlie Sanders, Sam Laporta, T.J. Hawkinson, Brandon Pettigrew, Dan Campbell. is on here. And defense, you got Bubba Baker from the Silver Rush, Lem Barney, Hall of Famer, Joe Schmidt, Hall of Famer, Dick Night Train Lane, Hall of Famer, and Ndamukong Suh. Go ahead, Bray.
So I made 3 different lists.
No. One list each.
Hear me out. I made 3, but I've buffered it to the best version of this list. Now, it hurt me dearly because the first list I had Barry and Calvin. Like, I don't know how you don't have them both.
Yep.
Got to choose.
But I'm making this list. I'm making them looking.
Checking it twice.
I'm going to go Stafford. It won a Super Bowl. You say what you want to. Like, I'm looking at this.
Not here.
But would you let him make his team?
Hold on. Okay, define what is an all-time lineup. Is this the all-time lineup, or is this the team that I'm taking on the field?
You're taking this team on the field.
Thank you. Super Bowl winner. Nobody else on that list is a Super Bowl winner. Before you say NFL champion, yeah, exactly. I'm taking Stafford. I'm taking. Did I spell that right? I'm taking Stafford, Gibbs, St. Brown, Hockenson, and Ndamukong Suh.
That was my 5.
That's your 5? So you took all the 3s, added, get you a 5, and then get a 1?
I'll switch it now.
Ndamukong for 1. If you don't have Ndamukong, you're a moron.
I'm going to switch it.
Saying.
You'll see what I'm going to do now.
When you have a choice between Barry Sanders, Kelvin Johnson, and Matt Stafford, I know who's number 3 on that list for me. And that's easily Matt Stafford. It's not on my team.
It is Matt Stafford, 100%.
Barry Sanders.
Yep.
Jared Goff, the greatest quarterback in a Lions jersey in modern times. I'm not taking the guy who left us with the curse in Bobby Lane, even though he is a multiple-time champion here. So I'm going Barry, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Dick Night Train Lane, and player coach at tight end, Dan the Man Campbell. He's got to be on the squad.
Hey, he shamed me. I want to change my list. I want to go to my original list.
You went first. That was your choice, baby.
We'll let you go back, but you got to give us each one shot.
He's got 3 lists, Maz.
I only have 2. Right?
Here's mine.
You had the same as me.
Yeah, but I had a backup.
See, well, you get to use a backup.
But I didn't get to say my team first. I'm taking Scott Mitchell.
That's my backup.
I'm taking Barry Sanders. Okay. I'm taking Herman Moore.
He thinks it's
I'm taking T.J. Hockenson, and I'm taking Ndamukong Suh.
Oh.
Scott Mitchell, Barry Sanders, Herman Moore. You already know what those guys did. They had the best offense in the 90s, those 3. Then you throw in Hawk, and you throw in Suh. And you got a winner. Ricky, here's the sheet.
You mean they had one good year offensively?
3.
Yeah.
Raise your eyebrow. I covered the games.
Not like, yeah. Well, you know, Anson paid attention to the Pistons then, not the Lions. He was down into the Pistons.
I was on the mic at the Silverdome and Ford Field. I covered them.
Pete, what do you got?
Season tickets.
Tell you what, guys. I was doing a lot of work here. Right now, I have Barry Sanders. That is for doggone sure before I choose any quarterback.
I agree.
The next thing I have is Greg Landry at quarterback. Because I'm spending more money than I'm putting Megatron in at wide receiver. So now we're at $11. And that leaves me to only go one way. And that is we are going to be putting in T.J. Hockenson and Ndamukong Suh.
So you circumvented the rules. I like what you did there.
See what I do?
So you can pick anybody here as long as it's $15.
Why not?
I'm picking through.
No, I explained the rules, but you guys want to do your own rules.
No,
I said one of each position.
Wait, don't say you guys. Say him.
Yeah.
Because I did the rules the right way.
Meaning him
No,
and
I'm
him.
saying Pete he selected 2 guys from the same dollar
You
team.
can't do that.
You
Oh, I
can't.
can't do that?
No.
You need one of each.
Guys just want to
Have
yell.
y'all never
of
played
each.
this before?
Let Ricky go.
One of each.
All
Let
right.
Ricky go.
Somebody got to help me with the math on as I do this.
Go ahead.
Because I know at least know the rules
Go
though.
ahead.
All right, definitely. I got to go with Stafford.
That's 5.
To save money, I'm going with David Montgomery.
That's 1.
Yeah.
Okay,
Please.
that's $6.
Because I'm going with Herman Moore.
That's 4. So you're up to 10.
Okay,
You need
perfect.
a 3 and a 2.
So I need a 3 and a 2.
Or a 4 and a 1?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do Barkley and Dan Campbell.
Who was your tight end?
My Dan Campbell.
And who was your D?
Lombardi.
Lombardi,
nice. All right.
That's how I'm gonna do it.
You're in.
Only because that was hard because it's $15.
So the guys in the booth got to cheat.
What do you mean?
Why? What did he do?
Well, you guys said that you had to pick a $5, a $4, a $3, a $2, and a $1.
No, he was doing the math for me.
No, I just added up.
Braylon just said you can't do that.
Bro, you just need one of each position.
One of each position adding up to $15.
What's wrong with you?
Relax, dude.
Sorry.
He just told you that's not part of the rules. You have to pick one in each tier.
Tom, you got mad.
Did you not just say that?
Each position. But I selected
You
one.
need a quarterback, a wideout, a running back, a tight end, and a defense.
That went off the rails. Yo, check this out. Look, man, my first list was easy. I wanted Calvin, I wanted Barry. So I took, if you get Calvin and Barry, you're already at 10. You got to go with the quarterback, Scott Mitchell at 2. Like Matt said, I saw what he did for 3 years. I know what he can do. He's handing the ball off to Barry, and when he's not doing that, he's play actioning to Calvin Johnson. Not that difficult. The Dominican Sue for $1 on what planet?
Right.
Give me him.
Right.
And then, pause, and then as it relates to $2, that's all I need. Brandon Pettigrew.
Yeah.
Still believe he got pass interference,
He
2014.
He did.
So there we go. That's the
God.
squad if you want to put the legends on it. I had some fun. I got ridiculed. That's the list. You got to have Barry. You got to have Calvin.
I agree.
Everybody else is, you got to figure out a way to put it.
I agree.
I agree, too.
So I agree with
100%.
Michael Weary certainly agrees. He's got Sanders, Sue, St. Brown, Gibbs, and Bobby Lane. And then Dante 151, you know he's got to play. Goff, Sanders, Tate, Campbell, Sue.
Tate's a good, Tate's a sneaky one too.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got 13. He's like, then add
Right.
Night Train
Sneak in
Lane
there.
to help Sue. Boom. That's a strong team.
But you know what it comes down to for me at the wide receiver position? Because now I'm starting a team. I'm not starting a team with, all due respect, smaller receiver. I'm going to start it with Calvin.
Well, it depends on when. Are we playing in 05 or
How about
2025? Because 2025, the little guy's doing all right.
Last time I checked, 4-3 translating to any area. And Calvin ran 4-3.
True that.
That's real.
Herman's no slouch though for $4.
He's not. He's just in
that's
between
all I'm
he's between a rock and a hard place.
I just see him
He's in
going
between
up.
Calvin and
I see him going up with those big hands and coming down against the Vikings, the Bears, and the freaking Packers. I'll never forget him. I love him. He's always my favorite receiver.
Here's my one question. This is always my question on Herman Moore, who I love. You saw I was just with Herman on Monday. Is Herman Moore that good if he's not playing with Barry Sanders in the backfield?
Yes.
I think so.
100%.
He was a high draft pick out of Virginia. Still holds all the track records there. High jump, the whole 9 yards. He was a phenomenal athlete. I think he's Hall of Fame material.
Bray,
to
it's
be
the
honest
route
with you.
Certainly borderline at worst.
Yeah.
Respect. It's just a question.
Bray, it's the route running.
It's the route run?
Route running.
Okay.
He was
Beautiful.
amazing.
So
And you know what? He had some great receivers. He had Perriman and Johnny Morton.
Yep.
That was what a team that was.
Don't sleep on Jermaine
How
Crowell
that
for 2
freaking team
years.
didn't
Yep,
win a
Jermaine
Super Bowl,
Crowell.
I'll never freaking know.
Come on, Kelvin had
That's
Kevin Jones.
Who was that quarterback?
Oh, God.
I mean, imagine if they had a
Mitchell had
run
three
game
great
with
years.
Megatron.
You know we had Scott Mitchell on the show, and he was real pissed after that Barry gone. Goodbye, Barry, or Barry go. whatever
Bye-bye,
it's called.
Barry.
And he was pissed about it. We had him on the show. We were able to have a good show. We were able to have a good chat.
It's a
if
good
you will.
interview.
We got
We
him
had
from
Eric Kramer
Miami.
on,
Everybody
too.
thought he was it. We
And he
did
was
put
for
up-
3
we put
years.
up some great offense for sure.
He did. Look, let's take a quick commercial
Even though he
break.
fainted against Tampa Bay in the playoffs.
You had to bring him O's. Let's get a message in from Woodward Sports Merch.
Or is it?
Or is it Les Stanford?
Here's Les Stanford first and then Merch. Sorry, my
Les
bad.
Stanford and then
Yep,
Merch.
yep, yep. Go ahead.
You guys already know about all of the great offers that Les Stanford Buick and GMC are offering up to everyone. You can see 3 of them up there right now. The Sierra for $169, that Hummer for $699, or the Envision for only $259 a month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out that incredible inventory. Les Stanford Buick and GMC, lesstanford.com.
Now, once you get a new car, you gotta get a new outfit, get some new merch, show off your team spirit, man. Shop.woodwardsports.com is where you need to go to get all your Detroit sports merch. Whether it's hoodies, tees, hats, it's all guaranteed to turn heads. Tigers are hot right now. Get the Tigers merch before it sells out. Make sure you do that now. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Shop.woodwardsports.com. Get your Detroit sports merch now. We'll be right back.
Are you a real Detroit sports sports fan. Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak? Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Beligian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The boys of summer are here, and Woodward Sports is all over the Motor City with the White Claw Tigers Tour. Come party with Woodward Sports, watch the Tigers, and sip on some White Claw all summer long. The best bars, big giveaways, live events, and a party that only Woodward Sports can throw. Ain't no party like a Woodward Sports party. Join us Friday, May 23rd from 5 to 7 with the heavyweights at McShane's in Detroit for the White Claw Tigers Tour, brought to you by White Claw, Easttown, and Van Johnson.
You know what? Hey, whoa, it would help if I pressed the right button. You know, right now, everybody, we are the #1, the numero uno sports digital media platform around this entire big blue marble that we are currently spinning upon. And we have 6 ways for you to catch our 7 days a week programming. You can watch us on YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitch. Come like, share, join, subscribe. Come be a part of our family because we do love you guys. And also, don't forget to scan that QR code above my head. Use that code word over there, Woodward 1000. Open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. When you do this, make your first deposit and your first bet of $20 or more. If that first bet happens to lose, you get your first bet back as a bonus bet up to $1,000, but only if you scan that QR code above my head. Use that code word over there, Woodward 1000. Open up your brand new Caesars Sportsbook account. Gentlemen,
I see you've been a little quiet with posting your bets lately, man. They ain't been hitting.
Well, no,
You ain't made no recommendations lately.
Well, I'm taking, it's a little, it's Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah,
I'm just having
busted.
fun, man.
But that's a good point. Sometimes, look, man, when you're a little bit of a non-heater,
right,
you take a break, you relax, enjoy life a little more, and then you get back involved into it.
That's right.
The real story, he's been buying baseball cards.
That's right.
I
have been buying baseball cards.
I appreciate that. The more you know.
Speaking of baseball cards, we got our super chat. We got 3 fresh super chatters. Let's get over a hunt here for today, guys. Charles Sullivan Jr., my opinion, the Pistons are a couple players away from the NBA title. Go get Kuminga and Vucevic and compliment Cade, Ivy, and Jaden. Go Blue! Love the show, fellas.
Definitely respect it. It's basketball. Everybody's a couple players away, but he's absolutely correct. It's the same thing we said. You got to go. The Pistons this year, if Beef Stew would have played, just look at it. Beef Stew would have
It
played.
was his birthday yesterday.
Happy belated birthday to
24.
Beef Stew. But he's right. We said the Pistons are right there.
No doubt.
Pistons are
No
right
doubt
there.
about it.
West Coast Lion. Give him Stafford, Sanders, Johnson, Laporta, and Barney. I think he's over his price though.
First of all,
West
that's
Coast
like,
Lion is
that's
over.
like $20+.
I know.
Yeah,
Plus,
right.
he says because the cap ain't real. Good one.
Oh,
West Coast Lion.
respect.
one,
Respect.
dude.
He's a
Good
comedian.
one.
Now I don't know about that. Neil Rule might have something to say. You know, the cap is very real.
Your
Neil
rule's
Rule.
wrong.
The cap is
Dante
very real.
151.
Lions fans.
Thank you, Sheila. Dante 151. Golden Tate's game winner in overtime against the Vikings in Minnesota, where it stayed in the bounce where two Viking players pursued him to tackle him. Man, oh man. So Golden Tate, the winner in OT. He likes his Golden Tate. There was a lot of Golden hate, of course, going on in Detroit back in the day.
This is true. I said that he would be a sneaky one in that. Look, I want to get to the Knicks. Let's finish on the Knicks and the Pacers tonight. But before that, a little bit of news around the NFL. I know you want to get to Maz. There's something to do with the owner of the Colts.
I know.
Rest in peace.
You hear a lot of
Big trades, big
Exactly.
moves. Who is starting? Who's injured?
Mike's
and
out.
What does it all add up to? It's time for Around the NFL on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz.
I jumped the gun a little bit there. You hear a lot of great things and a lot of wacky things about Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts. Passed away a couple days ago at the age of 65, just short of his 66th birthday. He was a guy that did a lot of things.
Yeah.
This guy played football. He was a power lifter. He went off the deep end with drugs and alcohol. He gave to the poor. He gave to the Colt fans. He'd constantly hand out money. If he saw a homeless person on the street, he'd take out $2,000 or whatever wad of cash he had. He'd give it to them. There's a lot of good things about Jim Irsay, and his daughter, Callie, is going to be taking over the team going forward. But I say nothing but good things about the former Colt owner, Jim Irsay. His dad was Robert Irsay. Now, Robert Irsay and Carol Rosenblum. Carol Rosenblum owned the Colts. Jim Irsay's father, Robert, owned the Rams. Did you know they switched franchises back in the late 60s, early 70s? Carol Rosenblum sold off the Colts to the Rams, and the Irsays came over to the Colts. So this is a long-time ownership family, the Irsay family.
That is cool.
And, of course, he took the Colts to Indianapolis.
Must have been a proximity deal. It would work better in terms of what area they lived in. Look, I never speak ill on the dead. The only thing I would say about Jim Irsay when he was live is that the hypocrisy in which he dealt with was just something to navigate through. His hypocrisy on the players versus what he was doing in his personal life made it a little bit hard to listen to him when he said certain things. But outside of that, I do not doubt the things that he was as an owner, because I know my brother played for him in terms of Marcus Pollard. So he will be missed by many.
That's the second time you've brought up Marcus Pollard. Are you guys related or just your brother from another mother?
No, he's my brother-in-law. He's married to my sister.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That. Awesome.
Yeah, he's married. In fact,
He's a big boss in Jacksonville.
He is. They just celebrated their 24th earlier this week. 24th anniversary, which I
Look at
was
that.
there.
My 27th
Amen.
is tomorrow with Kathy.
Nice.
Oh, check this
nice.
out.
love
What
you.
are you guys doing, man? You going to the local big boy?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
we will. Maybe we'll go get a couple
Why
hot
not?
dogs at National
Coney
Island.
Island, baby.
That's not bad.
We'll do something fun.
Coney.
Tigers are home. I'll see if I can talk her into going to the Tiger game.
Boy. Date night.
4 years, $48.7 million.
Cam Ward.
Number one pick overall.
Congratulations. Cam Ward signing with the Titans. Just to compare, he got 4 years, $48 million. Tyreek Williams got 4 years at a hell of a lot less than that. I think it was 16 million. So from 1 to 27, what a jump.
Yep.
Yeah.
No wonder you wanted to go number 3 overall.
This is true, and I appreciate that. Shout out to the Browns in 2005. But this is more so about the structure in which they slate things now.
Yeah.
Because look at what Cam Ward doing. Now they're moving on from number one picks. If you look at back to when I played 10 years ago, you want to lock your number one quarterback down for the rest of his life. But now they don't know about these quarterbacks. They don't necessarily trust these quarterbacks at number one overall. So here's 4 years. Here's $48 million. we'll have a conversation in a few years and see what happens. So I like it for everybody. Plus, it gives Cam his money up front. Let me get some money in my pocket. Let me get rocking and rolling.
$32 million up front.
He deserves it. This is what the market is.
Wow.
This is what comes with that territory. He played the game the correct way, and that's why he went 1 overall. So yeah, shout out to Cam Ward. We will see though, because the verdict is still out.
I hope he does well. I want to see the Titans do well. Hey, Hard Knocks, guys. It came out the other day that the Buffalo Bills will be Hard Knocks this summer. You'll see training camp with the Buffalo Bills. It's their last year at the old Ralph Wilson Stadium. They'll be moving into their new stadium in 2026. So this is the year for Buffalo, I believe, for them to have the best chance to get out of the AFC and get back to the Super Bowl.
I guarantee you the most watched people on that Hard Knocks for Buffalo Bills be 2 players, and they're both on the offensive side of the ball. One is Deion Dawkins, and the other is Keon Coleman. Those will be 1,000%. They will be the most
Not
watched
Josh
players.
Allen?
Nope. Josh Allen is Josh Allen. So
he's got Haley Steinfeld as his girlfriend.
But that's what I'm saying. Josh Allen is Josh Allen. So it's for him. The show is for him. So yes, it's going to be around him.
Yeah.
But those will be the 2 players that you see the most clips about, that you hear the most about, that people are intrigued about. Keon Coleman almost shut down the draft last year in terms of the intrigue for what he was and when he first got to camp. He's a very intriguing individual, and I think this is going to be his breakout year as a football player. Deion Dawkins, for other reasons, is a very intriguing player. But don't you forget, he's a damn good tackle in the NFL.
Braylon, does Maz know every hot girlfriend of every athlete in the world?
Maz knows all the hot women. That's what it comes down
That's
to.
what it
Maz
is.
knows
He was
hot
best.
women. Even before these players decide to make them girlfriends and basically wives, Maz already knew about it.
My favorite is Kristen Goff, man. I'm a Kristen Goff
beautiful woman.
I still remember the very first time we watched that video. So shout out to my cousin Edmonds in the building, Edmund Wright.
What's up, cuz?
This was when the Lions won the first game.
Yes.
This was the Vikings game.
Right.
This was the slant. Amon-Ra catches the slant. They win the game, and she's looking on her phone. And she's like, what? They won? She was doing a photo shoot. She's doing a swimsuit photo
Pete,
shoot.
you got to find that video.
Maz lost his mind watching that. The celebration is where he really lost his mind.
She was just very, how can I say, bouncy.
You said it perfectly.
Yeah.
You said it perfectly.
God almighty, are you
very bouncy.
You said it perfectly, and
We'll get back to that, but
I'll just give you a bet we will.
I bet we will.
Hang on.
That's what you can do on Fridays of Memorial Weekend when everybody's getting ready for the weekend. You can just have some fun. We're just sitting here having some fun.
No, I don't have the video, but hang on, Tom. I'm
Do
just
you
gonna
agree
give
with
this?
Jason
Hold on,
Kenyon,
wait,
Maz may be married, but his eyes aren't
Hang on,
dead.
Tommy.
Yeah.
my eyes are everywhere. By the way, that's a pregnancy shot in the Sports Illustrated
Yes, it is.
swimsuit issue.
God bless America.
Okay? That's a pregnancy shot.
Jared Goff.
Look at you, hold on, look
Jared
at you
Goff.
guys lusting after this man's wife. It's
I'm
sickening.
not lusting. I'm just
I said-
I'm enjoying
It
it.
absolutely
We are
sickening.
appreciating
I was showing
man.
patriotism
Just
for Memorial
appreciate
Day.
Noted. I'm
They're
just
works
messing
of
around.
art. Women are works of art. Why
This is-
can't I just say, wow, that's
Very
a
true
beautiful
story.
work
You
of
know what,
art.
man?
Right?
That's true. Do you tell your wife that?
It's like a nice Corvette.
See, then now you. Let me get you off the hot seat. That you
In my
never
heart,
had.
I do.
Maz, do you agree with 268 for Brock Purdy?
Well, hell, before we do Brock Purdy, bro.
I'm just.
He
Before
wasn't
we
done.
do Brock
He
Purdy.
wasn't done.
I wasn't done with Hard Knocks. Because there's in-season Hard Knocks.
Oh, wow.
And this year, the honor goes to
There you go.
the NFC East, home of Joe Shane and the New York Football Giants. They didn't get enough of Joe Shane when he put his foot in his mouth 3 times last year against Saquon Barkley, and Brian Daboll putting his feet up on the table, and John Mara crying, hoping that Saquon doesn't go to a division rival, and it all happened in front of our eyes. But we get to watch all 4 of those teams this year.
No, what we get to watch is we get to watch how to do it the right way with 2 organizations and how to do it the completely opposite with 2 organizations.
Dallas and the Giants,
1,000%.
Washington and the Eagles.
Do it the right way. So if you want to learn, why don't only watch the Eagles and the Washington Commanders?
All right, now Brock Purdy. He got paid finally. 5 years, $265 million extension, $181 million guaranteed. Now, I read somewhere, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, and I'm pissed at myself. In California, he's losing about 70% of that money in taxes and
sounds
all
about
that
right.
other kind of crap.
Yeah, sounds about right.
He won't lose 70%, but he'll lose a lot. Because
Wow.
a lot of his money, too, is taxed when the cities you play in. So a lot of the cities that he plays in don't have state taxes as well, and the taxes are lower. So it won't be 70%, but he's losing a lot of that money. But if I'm him, I'm not mad because I don't necessarily think he deserves all that bread. But now you see why they paid George Kittle.
Yeah.
Everybody was wondering why George Kittle gets the extension as an older man. Because one, he still can play, and two, who is the comfortability? Who is the outlet? It's George Kittle for Brock Purdy.
Now, Purdy took really less than quarterbacks are getting. Let's put up the quarterback list, Pete.
You got it, buddy.
The highest quarterbacks in the league. He is in there, but he took less, and he said he took less because he wanted to spread it out for his teammates.
What a guy.
He saved some money for his teammates.
Better man than me.
I agree with him. And I think his thought process is, look, I'm making $53 million, and I know it's because of the guys around me as well as myself. He's not a slouch at all. So
This was the last player taken in the draft, and is this like the first time that something like that's happened?
Well, here's a bring back. You talked
You
about
would
Brian
know.
Greasy early on in the episode.
Yep.
It's because of Brian Greasy that he was even selected.
Yep.
Brian Greasy had his eyes on
watched
him.
his career
And he
and
brought it
told
to the
San
attention.
Francisco,
Yep.
take this guy. The last player taken, Mr. Irrelevant, is now making $53 million a year.
He's a for what this NFL is, he deserves the money. It's 53. It's what Jared Goff is getting. Jared Goff hasn't won a championship nor an MVP, so it's right along the lines with that. He got the 2 NFC championships. He's gotten to a Super Bowl. Yes, you can say he had all the talent in this, but everybody gets to the Super Bowl with the talent. That's typically what it is. But it will be interesting this year because there is no Debo. There is a little break in the system. Brandon Ayuk, what is he going to be coming back this year off the ACL injury? Christian McCaffrey, he's another year older at the running back position, and he was injured last year. So what does this year look like? He got his money already. Now I want to see what he looks like as a player because he's got something in there. But last year they were negated, and it doesn't seem like this team is going to get back.
I mean, McCaffrey really greases all the gears.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got one of the greatest receiving backs of all time and one of the best running backs of all time. Now, I'm not really sure what they're going to be without Debo, but Debo almost – sometimes they utilized him perfectly.
Too much.
But then there was times where they were trying to scheme him too much. And I don't think that he ever really appreciated the fact that they ran him as a running back often. You know, it takes a huge toll on the body, and he didn't feel he was being paid correctly. He might be an addition by subtraction type of case.
Okay.
But I think that having McCaffrey back, if he can stay healthy all year long, they won't regret paying Brock Purdy. 15
games he played last year, just under 4,000 yards passing. He was sacked a bunch last year, 31. They went out, got some offensive linemen this year. Quick question before we get to the next. What do you think about Juwan Jennings, their wide receiver that they feel very comfortable with? Okay.
Huge fan. This is a guy that should step up as a very good number 2 on that team.
Also, they have another wide receiver in which he was one of 2 wide receivers shot in the offseason last year. Can't forget about Ricky. Can't forget about
Pearsall's a player.
Hey, the 49ers paid Fred Warner, too.
As they should.
3 years, $62 million, one of the better linebackers in the game. Keep him right there in San Francisco.
That's one thing they haven't had a shortage of is linebackers, especially over the last 15 years or so. Playing with Patrick Willis, like I'll never forget it. My very first practice playing when I got there to the team, first hitting practice, if you will, in 2 days. He hit me on a slant, and I legitimately had a conversation with him in the locker room after, like, because I didn't want to have it there. I just got to the team, and I was like, my energy is going to be perceived the wrong way. I'm trying to learn how to get out of this space. Man, I got in the locker room. I said, look, you ain't going to be hitting me like that. I said,
we on the same team.
Yeah, I said, what? He said, man, this is how I play, man. I'm sorry. He said, I'm just trying to play. I'm trying to be the best. I'm like, you ain't got to knock my helmet off to be the best. We can figure something out. But that's the intensity that P-Dub played with, man. He one of the best of all time.
He was. Dante 151 with our final super chat, and he hit us with $50.
Boy.
Legend.
Dante's got to win.
He got a bonus
Hutchinson's
spot for
rookie
that.
contract with the Lions is a 4-year deal worth $35 million, fully guaranteed, including a $23 million signing bonus. Giants' first-round pick, comparatively, Abdul Carter signed his 4-year, fully guaranteed $45 million deal.
Yeah, money goes up. You know, you're talking about 4 years ago. Money goes up. It just is what it is. Money goes up.
And remember, the Lions, they had the first and second pick the last 2 years if there was no rookie pay scale. So we got caught paying way too much money for a rookie Stafford, and then pretty much the same amount for I may not come play for you, Ndamukong Suh.
All right, man. Take the emotion out of it. Take the excitement out of it. Talk about tonight. What do you really feel as it relates to your New York Knickerbockers going against the Pacers? Game 2.
Ricky, how could you put that up there?
What?
How could you put that up there on the board?
What are you talking about?
Did you just put that up there on the board?
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean.
Did you just put that up there on the board for me?
Are you going to be picking?
Haven't I had enough pain?
Are you guys picking potatoes this weekend at all, or? I mean, you and Brunson, you guys going to be out there trying to get past the bubonic plague, the potato famine?
Not the peasants.
Everything I hear is, they have a chance to win Game 2. Yeah, they're going to be angry. I personally think they're finished. I don't think you could lose a game like they did a couple of nights ago.
Maz isn't even looking at the TV right now.
This
chat is dying.
You guys are hilarious. Let me say this before Anson goes off on his
What did
rant.
I miss?
The New York peasants. You guys are picking potatoes.
Jesus.
It's only funny to like Anson and Pete though. So
I know.
They only two.
I still don't know what the peasants is really.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
I don't. But you know what? I don't ask because I don't want to subscribe to it. Maz, it's very simple. The Knicks will win tonight. They'll be fine. It's because Cat and Jalen, how they played in Game 2, that's how they played.
42 and 35.
That's how they played the whole postseason for the most part. OG Anunoby will show up tonight. That's who didn't show up for them. He is on both ends of the floor. He is very, very, very neat. Excuse me. He's a necessity for what the Knicks do, and he didn't play that way. He didn't play well on the defensive side. He didn't play well on the offensive side, which caused him to be lazy on the defensive side. They'll need him tonight. They'll win tonight. As far as the rest of the series, you're on your own with that one.
If you look behind you in the Lions Den there, they're showing the video of Reggie Miller when he put 9 points in 8 seconds against the Knicks.
There they are.
I mean, I can't escape it.
They did lose that series, though. The Knicks won that series.
They did. That's the other thing about him. Like, you never talk about that part, Maz. Why don't you ever shut it down when we talk about it? As soon as you like the Reggie Miller, you say, but we won. That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, I know.
You won.
But the Pacers have had 2 great things happen to them in their history, and they're both against the Knicks.
Oh.
They're both in Madison Square Garden.
How many finals do they have? Do they have a championship?
They do not. But the Knicks haven't won since I was 11, so we're talking 53 years. Hey, Pete, I sent you something in the chat.
hardware.
Did you get it?
I just didn't have time,
The
bro. I'm
WhatsApp?
sorry.
You can't grab that from the WhatsApp for me?
Maz, if
right
he
now,
doesn't
bro.
have time, he doesn't have time.
No, do you have time?
I don't right now, bro, because I got the wheel right now. I'm sorry,
All right,
man.
can we put the wheel off for like a minute while you get it? Is that
takes
possible?
me a long time. It's not easy, bro.
This
I put up the picture, my man. I put up the picture.
This is what goes
Okay,
on.
Pete.
Maz, what are you trying to get put up?
That's okay.
He wants the video of Kristen Goff now.
I sent him the video of Kristen
Now he
Goff.
wants the video. of
Bro,
Kristen
stop
Goff.
creeping on that man's
I sent him the
wife.
video. I wanted Ricky to see it. I wanted you to come.
No, I've seen it, man. Don't blame it on me.
Ricky wanted
One
to see
more
it.
time. You happy?
No, I'm not happy.
Oh.
I'm not happy.
He was looking for the bouncy clip, I believe.
I gave that to him.
All right, you guys better figure out what's going on as it relates
Right.
to the will. Pete, don't worry about anything else but the will.
Will, yeah.
What are you doing this weekend? 3:55, getting ready to wrap it up, finish up for the weekend. What's your weekend look like, Anson?
It's
Wells?
Detroit at its best. It's going to be cold, but it's movement.
You're going now.
The oldest electronic music festival in the world. So if you want to see Detroit great, you don't have to go
Techno
to the
Heckler.
actual festival. Just go down to Detroit.
Techno Heckler.
I like that. Just be around the energy. There's a lot of spacing down there in which you can just walk and be around. Everybody can be safe. There's times in which you can go. I like that. Ricky, what you got going this weekend?
Pretty much the exact opposite. I'm on dad duty for 3 days straight with both girls. It's just basically me and the girls.
What are the
And,
ages?
5 and 6 months. So for my 5-year-old, I am the toys. I'm gonna do whatever she wants me to do, whatever that entails for Saturday and Sunday. So that's what I'm doing all weekend.
Strong family, man. I appreciate
Yeah.
that over there. Pops, what you got going on?
Pete, dude, tonight we're going to be putting our feet up, watching TV, playing some video games, opening some baseball cards, and tomorrow I'm going to go fishing.
Who's we?
Opening some baseball.
Meaning me, myself, and I.
Oh, I thought
we're
you
gonna
had-
go.
I thought you had a young lady.
I'm going to go fishing tomorrow and take myself out and have a beer and just, go fishing, man.
Now, Pete, do you use like dating sites like Tinder?
Here, Pete should show this.
Sorta.
Pete should go home and just watch
Sorta.
this.
Man,
Come to me.
man,
Come to me.
Enough. Oh my
Come
goodness.
to me and zoom in.
No.
Zoom in.
We have Fox 2.
Zoom in.
He said
Dana
no.
said it finally does not
This
want
is
to
not
see it.
porn.
Zoom in,
This
Pete.
is not porn.
Poor
If you
Dana
have to
has-
say it's not porn, you shouldn't show it.
This is Kristen Goff. How
This is the
excited
man's
she
wife.
was when the Lions won their
There,
first
yeah.
game.
Marriage is a covenant.
God,
We don't want
what
to see
I do
this.
for you, these things. things I have to go
The
through.
things that you can't even get this when I said it
Braylon, talk
10
about the
minutes
weekend.
ago.
But
Braylon,
Peach, you know what it is though,
other
man. The older
things.
these guys get, they get a little pervy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
no,
like, it's like Bill Belichick.
I'm trying to help the guy. I'm trying to
It's
help
like getting
him.
like Bill
Trying to
Belichick.
help me. You
wrong.
can't even help yourself.
Because I'm trying to
Well, look, man, I'll do a mixture of a lot. I'll be downtown a little bit and I'll also be hanging out with the family, man. I think Memorial Day is supposed to be for family. We appreciate the men and women that served this country for us, lost their lives for us. So spend time with some family as well to show my appreciation. What we looking like on this wheel, man? You ready to run this wheel?
Oh, look at this, Peppy.
Look, it's a lot
my
going
goodness
on.
sakes.
The wheel.
The mouth gets me every
Hope
time.
that wheel
Pause.
spins off and hits you.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give it the go today. I'll tell you when.
Oh, hang on, Braylon. Let me throw you up there. There you go, my friend.
All right, I'll tell you when. I'm waiting till it hits a certain name. Spin it.
I'm glad you can see those things.
I think everybody in this studio is pulling for Dante 150. We appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody that contributed. Please smash that like button before we end the show, guys.
I'm interested in cars, man. It's $89.
There's some really nice cards in there, guys.
Come on, please give me Dante. Please.
Might do it.
It's going to the yellow. It's going to the yellow. Stop. Slow down. Stop. Stop.
It might
Stop.
be.
It's about time, baby. Stop. There it is.
Did you win? Wow.
Is that the John Cena? Was that the John Cena?
151.
There we go, legends.
The loyalist member we have, but
Wow.
no, you gotta love everybody here. But everybody knows there's one that commands the chat, and it's D151. We appreciate you.
Damn
finally,
good.
Finally got a
God.
win. Finally got a win. Now I may have stolen this deck of cards that goes to Dante 151. I'm just joking.
Dante, you want us to open it or you want us to send it to you to open?
That's a good
I know
question.
we're running a little late here,
Do you
but
want to rip or ship?
rip or ship, baby.
Rip or ship?
This is what we're gonna do. No. We're not gonna open it for him. Dante, when you get these cards, you open them on video. You send us the video.
There you go.
And we'll play the video on the show.
Even better.
Don't waste the open. Won't waste the open.
And I got something else to. I actually talked to Dante yesterday on Twitter. I'm going to add in a little bit.
Oh, so this was rigged.
No, I don't run the wheel, baby.
The
But
truth
Tuesday,
comes out.
this
See,
is going to
that's
go
what I
out
thought.
Tuesday. Okay, my friend, we appreciate you so much, and we appreciate everybody else in chat. Please, once again, guys, smash that like button before we get out of here.
Hey, look, man, we appreciate you guys. It's been a great week, man. This is Woodward Sports. We love that you come here. You spend your time with us, spend your money apparently as well. This is good vibes, man. We represent the city of Detroit and everything else. We want you to have a good weekend. Be safe. If you do dumb stuff, do it at home. Okay?
Right.
If
You're
you
right.
do it dumb, do it
And
at
wear a
home.
helmet.
Be safe. May God be with you, man. For my man Ricky, for Pete, Tom Masway, for Anson Wells, for everybody, we are Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, and we wish you a happy Memorial Day weekend.
See you guys.
God bless.